are live.
Nice.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking like it's 143 for me. 43 quid. 143 quid. That's not too bad, actually. Pretty good.
I'd say it's reasonable for the quality of the camera.
It seems it, yeah.
Oops. Okay, everyone, our chat has arrived. And I want to explain, well, first of all, chat, let me know if I'm way too loud, because I see I'm peaking right now. I'm peaking. But, so Pete had a little experimentation at the weekend. Was it the weekend, Pete?
It was during the week.
Okay.
During the week.
And, so the settings kind of got a little bit moved around.
That's because someone hasn't taught me how to use
I know!
Streamlabs, and I've been waiting years, so I was like, I have to figure this out myself. Thanks.
I'm a bad teacher anyway. I'm like, do the thing, and the other thing, and that thing.
And this and that.
And this and that, and this.
Yes. Oh, good evening, everyone.
Yes, hello, chat. Hello, Danker. Hello,
Hello.
Nana. Hello, Mike. Thank you for being here. Oh, my nose itches.
Yes, Nana, don't worry. I will never use GeForce or NVIDIA Broadcast ever again for streaming, which is why I was setting up Streamlabs.
That's what you were talking about then. Okay.
Yes, that's why Nana was telling me at the time. He was like,
Right.
it keeps crashing, That's why I had to reset it constantly, because it was a piece of crap. So then I spent the next morning, because I was off work, I was like, oh, I'm gonna fuck around with this for about an hour and a half and try and figure this out. And I think I got it. I've got something sorted at least.
Well, that's what counts.
Did you see my other one?
I saw the longer one, like Street Fighter, was it?
Well, it was the test stream that I did after that before
That
I
was it.
deleted it.
Okay, yeah. I
where
caught
was
that
just
one.
pissing around with Forza and Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Where I was just sitting there probably until about midnight, just messing around.
Well,
Yeah, but then the next day I actually set up like an actual screen for streaming, so I can just switch over to that easily.
now see, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so I won't muck around with your settings again.
Excellent, Pete.
This is what happens when you wait a year and a half to be taught how to use it.
I know. I am so bad.
I have to learn myself, and then I screw with everything for the show.
No, you didn't screw it up. It was easily fixed. Easily remedied, as they say.
That's good, because I copied something and then ended up removing the old one.
Ah!
So I had to repost it.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's actually making a little bit more sense now. Speaking of which, I need to put alerts on top.
I might have actually deleted a couple of names as well.
You did.
yes, I did. But it was names that probably won't be needed.
They're all in there. And you locked them down, which is.
I locked a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to keep.
Into the black hole you go.
Well, I locked a couple of them because I thought, I might need these later. I need to remember which ones they are.
Locking them makes them stuck, and then the eyeball turns them off and on.
I know.
So
I figured that out.
I couldn't move it. In fact, I'm gonna move my name now that it's unlocked.
Yeah, but I eventually figured it out. All right.
Well, see, that's what counts.
It's what happens when you have free time. Too much free time.
Oh, it's me. But yes, chat. Let me know how you're doing, and let me know about the volume.
Yes, and I'm just going to run some tests in the background to make sure the audio is fine on my end.
Whoop, whoop.
So, can I get a test from each and every person?
Testing.
8 billion people in the world, Pete. That's gonna take forever.
And then everyone on this call.
Oh, that's different. Test. I shall test your patience.
Already have. Thanks for that. Good. I shall return.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, I'm ready to start drinking here. Chat, is my wine redeems back on? There's no telling at this point. But I have a special drinking vessel that I brought out for today's show. It's not fancy at all. It's very, very simple. But I think some of our watchers might recognize it. Danker says, doing good. Just updating my Windows to the newest Canary FAT32. Can finally go above 32 gigs. Yes, I have that sitting in my little tray. Thank you, Danker. I'm probably going to show this again. Do I show it now or should I show it when we do the show?
Can we have a glass of wine and glass of mead redeem?
Oh yeah, that's stands
or is
for
it
that.
one and the same?
It's one and the same tonight because I'd have to go into Nightbot and change it.
And we all know what you're like.
Or not Nightbot.
Dealing with Nightbot.
No, that's actually Twitch redeems. But yeah, see, okay. Nana said hydrate. So there you go. That's the mead right there.
No, that's solely for me.
Okay, I'm trying to debate, like, should I show off my drinking vessel now or when we do the show?
Do it.
But the show is an audio format.
Yeah, do it now then.
Do it now. Now, I tried to show someone who should have known what this was from, and they didn't. Me. No, it wasn't you. It wasn't me.
Good.
They didn't recognize it, so it's possible that I'm the only nerd, super duper insane, embarrassing nerd dork.
Hello, Flame.
Hello, Flame! How are you doing tonight? Okay. Does anyone recognize this mug? See? It's just me. I'm just the biggest nerd on the planet. It's fine with me.
What?
Pete, does that...
I have seen...
Yes, you have.
I've seen it before.
And you've seen it very recently, too.
Is it Deadpool Wolverine?
It's Deadpool Wolverine!
Makes sense.
I think I have a tendency to notice mugs and stuff because I make them for a living. And so I saw it. I like that, Taker.
Yeah, shall we talk about it in pre-show or shall we talk about it on the show?
I think we should talk about it on the show.
Okay, all right. I can't give away too much, though.
I know.
I promote the shit out of my other podcast.
Has that episode already gone live?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just hit the
it's all right. It's all right. The window of listening has probably dwindled by this point. So yeah, cool. Might as well.
Well,
what was I going to say?
Oh, okay. Forgot I was still doing tests. But CD, have you seen Deadpool Wolverine yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
Do you have plans to see it?
Yeah, at some point.
At some point.
I'm not in a rush to go to the cinema or anything like that.
That was my exact stance. Like last week, I was like, yes. I mean, I know it's gonna be like probably my favorite movie of the year. I do not want to be around people. I don't want to go to a movie theater. Blah blah. But I was out getting my haircut, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this window of opportunity and seize it because once I get home, I'm not leaving. And I was
fucking leaving.
Exactly. I was like one of 4 people.
Nice.
It was nice. It was very nice.
So nearly the whole cinema to yourself.
But pretty much, yeah. Let's see. Mike says, Kylie, where is a good place to DM you? Wow,
That sounds like a trap.
No, it's yeah.
I know. I'm aware.
I am so off social media right now. Let's see.
Again.
Yeah, well, I mean, all I've been doing is doing my streaming stuff.
Send it to me, and I will send it on.
Now that's true. Pete can get a hold of me. I don't always respond to him. But...
No, I waited days for your. Are we doing 7:30? And literally just came around and about 6 o'clock this evening. It's like, yep, cool.
I know. I'm avoiding WhatsApp right now because there's a bunch of messages I have to read.
Oh, I know.
Ugh.
But you were like, I don't use Discord unless it's for the show, so I've avoided using Discord.
Yeah.
And now I have to avoid using WhatsApp, so what am I going to have to do? Carrier pigeon now?
Probably. I mean...
Smoke signals.
I know. Mike,
I'm not sure they'll reach to Ireland.
You never know. I've got really good eyesight. But, oh, right, okay.
Should I just invite Kylie into the Discord?
Ooh, do that, yeah. Because I was going to say, you can message me on Discord. I just might not get it for 5 or 6 days. I've got to...
And the rest.
7 days, 8 days, 2 weeks, month. I will be out of this unsociable stuff soon. It'll pass. It always does.
Yeah, cool.
Holy crap.
You can do it. I'll send out an invite. So yeah, you'll be able to pick that up soon.
My Facebook Messenger, because I refuse to use Facebook Messenger,
Ugh.
has like 25 messages, and everyone's like going, "Where are you? Talk to me. What's going on?" Blah, blah. I was like, "I don't want to talk."
Have they not figured this out by now? That you only talk when you want to.
There's a small window every 6 months where I will talk for about 10 minutes.
On Facebook Messenger.
On anything.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll bear that in mind.
You should know that by now, Pete.
Yeah, but I've got things coming up this year that requires you to be
I
prompt
know,
and
I know.
responsive, so, you know.
I did look.
Probably doesn't help.
It's true. It's true. Sometimes I gotta be Actually, they call it asocial, because if you say antisocial, that means you're a sociopath.
Yes.
So it's asocial.
Which I am starting to wonder.
I'm not a sociopath. Much.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right, shall we get this show on the road?
I thought you were going to say.
Obviously, CD is an hour ahead of us.
Oh, that's
so
right.
we'll be getting later.
That's right.
I mean, even though the Fires of Mordor don't really that late.
Okay, 2:07, right?
2:07.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I'm recording, so we'll start in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 207. That's right. We did it. Well, we did it about 7 weeks ago. We crossed the 200 mark.
Well,
but I'm still celebrating. Yeah, that's true. We aren't always weekly, but I'm still celebrating it. Much like if I celebrate my birthday, I do it for the full week. So,
everyone else I know.
Yeah, there you go. I am your co-host, Kiley Wilde. I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett, who's somewhere down there. And a very special returning guest. Nope, that direction, CD.
Hello.
Yay! Whoop whoop. So we'll get things rolling until we get to the main part. I like, for all of our new listeners and new watchers, any VOD watchers that might be out there, I like to start the show off by asking how everyone's week been and what games they've been playing. And I will start with our guest, CD. How's your week been, and what games have you played this week?
Well, the week's been pretty good, aside from the temperature of a few days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably pretty much the same for everyone.
Yeah,
even in Ireland. Actually, you know what I heard? I heard it was the hurricane that hit the U.S. It created a convection. I'm so boring. You just have to deal with it. It created convection, which then shoved the heat over in our direction.
Yeah, I think this is what Brent was telling us, that there was going to be some. Or Mike,
Yeah.
I think, might have said that there'll be a heat wave coming, or quote heat wave.
Well,
because
yeah.
Americans don't think we have heat waves over here.
I sure didn't when I first came over here. I'm from Texas, where it's continuously 40 plus all year round. And so my first year here, I was like, this ain't hot. I don't know what you people are crying about.
Y'all a bunch of pussies.
Yeah. And then I've been here 15 years, and I'm like, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah, see, that's that acclimatization for you.
Yeah, well, I have it well in contrast to some of my relatives that live over in Hungary. They have
All right.
quite a bit more in terms of temperature, at least 10 degrees.
Oof. Oh.
Yeah, okay, I'd probably be dying.
Oof, oof, oof. Mike says, don't even need to fire up the grill at the moment. You can cook straight on the patio tiles. He's over in Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, my
if you can fry
goodness.
the egg on the pavement, it's hot.
Hey, we could do that back in Texas all the time. Ain't no lie.
Yeah,
Ain't no lie.
Put in Australia as well.
Yeah.
That's their gauge for temperature, isn't it?
Texas is Australia Junior, I have figured out.
Mm.
Because everything wants to kill you in Texas, just like in Australia. So.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Including the people. But anyway, CD.
There's probably more guns. Who knows?
Yeah, how's your game playing been this week?
Let me think it's been a mix. I've been playing some of the current Diablo 4 season. Yeah, that game has caught itself quite a bit since its release. It's been markedly improved, and besides that, playing some idle games here and there, playing PC Tycoon, which is sort of like a game dev tycoon style game, just with hardware. That one, yeah, it's not bad. It does have some issues, but could be improved in some areas. But quite decent for playing now and then.
Excellent.
And the other one was a City Game Studio, I think it was, which is essentially kind of like Game Dev Tycoon and the likes. Just
nice.
Nice.
Those are my guilty pleasures.
Good list of games this week.
Yeah. Mike said, got into the car yesterday afternoon. The car marked 45 degrees Celsius for our...
Toasty.
Yes. For our Fahrenheit listeners, that's over 100.
Yes.
So
that's you go into the car, that's not a microwave, that's a microwave.
Exactly.
Now I know how old Snake feels.
I'll tell you a really bad thing that I used to do back in Texas. This was probably completely unhealthy. I can't believe I survived it. But so I worked for a corporation, which was also just...
That's very unhealthy. How did you do
it? I didn't last. They fired me. It's the only time I've been fired in my life. And then I started my own business, and I was like,
as long as you don't fire yourself, that's fine.
Exactly. I fire myself every week. I gotta cut costs. But actually, no, corporate life was terrible. But what I would do is I would leave my lunch, which was usually like leftovers, but in like a little plastic tub in my car, because by the time I got to lunch, it was Look, 22-year-old Kylie was not very smart. Okay, well, I'm not smart now either, but...
Let's just go with not very practical.
I was going to say, that's really it. I thought I was being practical, but... Anyway, yes.
Because I want a cooked lunch.
Exactly. And I wasn't wasting energy.
I mean...
I was using the sun.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah, that's true. It was yogurt. Tons and tons of
God. That would have smelt like a mouldy gym sock as well. Jesus.
Oh, those were in there too. No.
That reminds me of some GIFs where you have the milk package and you turn it over and it just doesn't come out. It just boom.
No lie, guys. I have switched to soy milk because I'm just off dairy right now. It's my phase. And I don't use milk very often anyway. I'm just not a person that does that. And so I went to go get the soy milk out of the fridge this morning for my coffee. I picked it up. It's a carton, and it was solid. It's like, I think I make tofu.
Was that because it was too cold in the fridge or something?
No, it was off.
The fridge is broke. Oh, God.
Yeah, it was off. And, tofu's fermented soybeans, so I was like, oh. So I tossed it.
I was going to say, you could just keep it in the fridge. You can just use it.
Anyway, Pete, same question to you. How's your week been and what games you been playing?
My week's been alright, actually, because I had a few days off at the back end, so just been catching up with a load of stuff, screwing around with Streamlabs for you.
That's also what she said.
Thought I'd make your week a little bit more difficult.
Yes, you did do that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
For once.
Yeah, usually it's the other way.
Yeah. So luckily I actually got quite a bit of time to play some games this week, so I won't talk about two of them for too much because it's just continuations of stuff that I've been playing regularly. The Road to Evo France is continuing, so I'm playing Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
So got quite a few games in the other day, about 4 hours worth on Friday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, sorry. Just that's a hell pit to say the least. Because you can come across some very interesting players midway through the day because there's any range of weird people that come up. Cheaters, a lot of Akumas.
Yeah.
A lot of Akumas. Because for some reason he's like the easiest character to play for some reason and high damage.
Oh, goodness.
So Um, yeah, but I managed to face a few characters I actually haven't come up against before, like Ed and Ake, because it's been a while. So yeah, it's interesting, but I'm not sure how my training is going for Evo France. But well, I've still got a year and a bit, so
Yeah,
plenty of time.
it'll do fine.
I'll be fine. Yeah, hopefully I don't go 0-2 this time. Less distance to go this time. Anyway, carry on with a bit of Forza Horizon 4 on PC as well, because I'm just generally really enjoying that game. So I've managed to get through the winter season, now into the spring season. Should be coming up to that amazing showcase at the end of that, because anyone who's played that game, I'm not giving it away. It's amazing. Like the final showcase event that you actually do is unreal. It's so good. So I have done the train one and the hover cart.
Ooh,
So that is pretty
that's
cool.
cool.
But I've still got loads of stuff to do. Just plowing through all the Top Gear stuff at the moment, and then I'm just going to go and do all the speed traps and trying to find some influence boards just to increase the influence so I can get through to the next season.
Nice.
So yeah, just casually plowing along with that. But the main game that I did play, because I streamed it on Wednesday night, is I picked up a game that I nominated actually for the Game of the Generation or the Game of the Decade discussion we did many years ago.
Yes.
And that was Death Road to Canada.
Yes, I remember talking about that.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Death Road to Canada, it is a roguelike simulation game where you have to make your way from South of America to Canada. It's all done in basically in text form, so you get a lot of story beats through there. You get a lot of multiple choices, and then you have to go to different areas that you get to choose. You get stats and different weapons, and just have to try and make your way through varying degrees of zombie hordes. And you get an eclectic cast of characters along the way that you can recruit, or you can kill them, or whatever. So it's a very fun game. I really enjoy it, and I've not stopped playing it. It was relatively cheap on Steam, so it's only about $10.99. So I already own Steam, but I owned the Switch version for many years, but thought, yeah, I'm going to double dip on this. Yeah, I own Steam. I definitely do. No, I got the version on Steam, so I was just like, I might as well play it because ease of use and all that. Well, something to play whilst I'm at the computer as well. So
There you go.
yeah, I had a really good run the other day whilst I was on stream, even though stream absolutely completely crapped the bed a few times. Annoyingly, I made it one day away to Canada.
Oh no!
So you got it takes 15 days, and I got for 14, and I was so annoyed because it was the first run I've done in about 2 years, and it was like, oh. So
someone saw Oregon Trail and thought, nah, we gotta do that with Canada.
Yeah, and add zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, and lots of zombies at that.
That's what the Oregon Trail was missing. Zombies.
And Canada.
Yeah, but it has a lot of dysentery.
I was gonna say, would the zombies get dysentery then? I bet zombies have that anyway.
I think everyone would get dysentery on
Do
the Oregon Trail.
Wait, do zombies have a digestive system? I mean, they eat brains.
They probably do, but it's just non-functioning because they're dead.
I really want to ask this question, and this might be the title of our show.
Go on.
I wonder if you can fight them off with poutine.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I love poutine. Do zombies poop?
Poutine is great. Right. We've got it.
But yes.
This is also a service announcement to those who might be interested, but currently on Humble Bundle, there is the Capcom Summer Sale.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So there are 12 games available for £23, 24 quid. It includes Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, Capcom Arcade Beat 'em Up, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 1, 2, and 3, Ace Attorney Chronicles, I think it is. Dead Rising 2 free off the record, and Frank's Big Package for Frank's Big Package, and the Capcom Fighting Collection as well. So there's a lot of games in there.
Yeah.
And I also purchased it, so expect some of those to come up next week.
I am looking forward to that. I do love all the Dead Rising. Well, not all of the Dead Rising, but
the good thing is, all of those games are verified. I think everyone likes Frank's Big Package. But yes, there's a lot of games there, and all of them are verified and playable on deck.
Oh, good. That's good. Because I think that's
It's-
what Danker in chat, he uses the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's not helping my potential for wanting to get a Steam Deck.
I was going to get one this year.
I'm tempted because I've got a long haul holiday next year that I'm like, this could
Well,
very easily work for that.
It's weird. I wasn't getting it for myself. I was going to get it as a Christmas gift for someone else. And then, but I started looking at it and I was like, oh, I might need this. I might.
Kylie, if you want to get anyone a wedding present, you know.
Yes.
Hint, hint.
Not so subtle hints. Yes.
By anyone, I meant
Sometimes
Rachel, not
subtlety
me.
goes by 2x4.
Look, sometimes that 2x4 needs nails.
Well.
Yeah, that's all I've got for you this week.
Okay. I think that's pretty good, Pete. So, my week.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
So, for our, I was going to say our listeners in chat, that is not what I mean. For our viewers in chat, they got to see what really cool mug I made myself. But you beautiful listeners.
TV/rapid reviews.
Thank you, Pete. Because our beautiful listeners cannot see this 11-ounce white mug with the I like me heart, or I like what Danker said, which is I like me hearty. So it's like a pirate said this. But it's the mug from the opening scene in Deadpool where Deadpool... Well, I don't want to give any spoilers. Just know that it's in the opening scene of Deadpool.
I mean, by this point, everyone on the internet knows that film.
I went in with no spoilers. Pete, I kid you not. I don't know how I'm not.
You're off social media.
I am.
Avoided all the spoilers.
Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of liking this piece that I feel. But
yeah.
So I went in with no preconceived notions. I had no spoilers on me. Now I want to set this up. When I was a what do they call it? A tweenager, and then up to about 14 or 15. Just for the rest of my life, it doesn't matter. So when I was about 12, I really got heavily into the X-Men comics and obviously the show. The show did it. The cartoon obviously kickstarted that. Towards the end, yes, exactly. There's no greater intro song. But towards the end of the 90s, early 2000s, that's when Deadpool dropped. There was a miniseries first, and then a comic series, and then there was a second comic series. It was my absolute favorite comic series next to Wolverine. And believe me, when Deadpool teamed up with Wolverine and the comics, oh my gosh. So that, to me, has a very significant, I'm a bit passionate about it. It holds a place in my heart and my mind. And so I went in here going, Ryan Reynolds, I believe in you. You kind of sucked in Deadpool 2. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But I'm going to still believe in you. Oh my gosh. If you have ever read any of the Deadpool comics, you are going to see so many Easter eggs. This is a love letter to Deadpool and Wolverine in the comics.
To some degree, yes.
Oh my gosh. Even the variants of Wolverine, I could name every single variant that they showed. And
well, actually, if you listen to the Neville Watchers, I named a few.
Right, okay.
On my limited knowledge, I knew a few.
Well, that's the thing. Some of these jokes were so esoteric, a non-comic book reader would not have... It would have just went... Taker says it's not even Easter.
I mean, without going into too many spoilers.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil.
One from Uncanny X-Men 207, wasn't there?
Oh, yes. There were some very, very just beloved nods to some miniseries that happened.
Comic accurate one.
Yes, and then... Yes, I'll tell you one thing, because this isn't a spoiler. One thing that bothers me greatly about this whole series, and I'm still trying to figure out where he's going with this, Vanessa is a mutant. She's copycat. It's well known, well established, and he still hasn't brought that up yet, and we're in episode 3. But
bearing in mind that obviously now there's ties to the 616, so it might be that there is... Well, they've essentially kept that universe going, but it's more of a close-off for that, so it might be that they'll bring that in through future films, through the multiverse.
Yeah. Well, someone asked me, it was a young person. Them young people. They had asked me. They were like, "But is the TVA, was that just made up for, you know, like like Loki and Deadpool?" I was like, "Oh, no. It's been in the comics for decades. That is everything they showed it's accurate. Like they didn't make up stuff for this. Like Nova, she's in the comics. Like all of that." I just got so excited. I was like 12-year-old Kiley again, and I was just like trying not to jump up and flap my arms in my seat because I was so excited. I actually might like Deadpool 3 more than I like the original Deadpool. Might.
Ooh, bold claim.
It is a bold claim.
And going against the grain, because most people have gone Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, Deadpool 3.
Oh, actually. No, Deadpool 2 is... It's not bad, but...
No, I think the people after watching, like, have rewatched it quite recently and probably were a bit too critical of it at the time.
I will say he got the characterization right again in Deadpool 2, but I didn't like the storyline. It didn't feel well with me. And Mike says, since I watched Deadpool versus Wolverine, I've been playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Of course. Nice.
Yes, I think what's his face does Deadpool's voice in there. Nolan North.
Nolan North, yeah.
Or the
it's
other
the same as the Deadpool game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whose voice doesn't he do?
I know, exactly.
Yeah, very true. I mean, ever since I watched Deadpool and Wolverine, I did pick up Deadpool for my Ultimate Marvel 3 team.
And see, and anyone who's new to the Rapid Reviews radio universe knows that Pete does not like Deadpool.
But he works with my team. He works very well with Phoenix Wright.
I'm not gonna lie, I love
Weirdly
Deadpool.
enough.
Deadpool is like just
Pete is sitting there with the gamepad. Why are you working so well?
Look, if Phoenix Wright can't OTG, Deadpool can. It works.
But, okay, so moving swiftly up from Deadpool, which I loved and adored, and I might actually, if I leave my house at any point, which is, that could go either way, I will go again. I don't have any plans to leave my house, but it could happen. But I'm currently in a basement, by the way. This is not a lie. I am in a basement. Or wine cellar. It's me. It's a wine cellar. Or both. But yes, Mike said, did you catch the end credits scene? I won't say what happens. Yes, stick around. First of all, before they even get to the end credits, I gotta say this again. I wanted to move on to games, but I'm just gonna say this right quick. I haven't talked to any other humans. You have to remember that. When
humans?
I know, right?
Yeah, they're overrated.
Very. Back in 2000 when X-Men was coming out, I was so excited, like absolutely excited. I did not like that they used Halle Berry in her terrible wig for Storm. That annoyed me because I think it should have been Angela Bassett, but that's me. She would have been.
Unfortunately, she probably would have been a little too old by then, wouldn't she?
No, not in 2000. Because she did the Tina Turner thing in like 1996, so that was only like 4 years later.
Oh, okay, all right, fair enough.
But
corrected.
But I still was just like a comic book nerd. This was before, for our young viewers out there, this was before comic book movies even hit. Like X-Men was one of the first, and then Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
I'm afraid to say I think Blade wants to have a word with you about that.
Okay. Oh, I love Blade. Oh, that just makes me think again. Nope, not gonna spoil anything. I hadn't realized how many comic book movies Ryan Reynolds has been in. But
far too many.
Yeah. But anyway, so seeing the X-Men, and then I remember when they said that this newcomer was going to be Wolverine, and I went and looked him up. I was so angry. I was so angry.
Everyone.
Because he was tall, which is also referenced in Deadpool 3. Because Wolverine is 5'2". He's called a sawed-off shotgun little runt, is how he's often referred to. So he's 5'2", and back then, they were going to get Danzig to play it. Believe it or not, they were going to get Danzig to play Wolverine. That's not a joke. That is an actual thing.
Didn't he turn the role down?
No, they lost funding. He was hyped.
Oh, okay.
But Yeah, so, you know, I didn't know how Hugh Jackman was going to work. He just looked like this tall, lanky dude, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I went and watched it. I just loved seeing my childhood heroes on the screen. So at the end of Deadpool 3, that's right, I did. Mike says Kylie wanted her comic accurate short king. I do love them short kings. Yeah, so at the end of Deadpool 3, they do show outtakes from the original X-Men movies. And I know nostalgia is a cheap ploy, but it works.
Yeah, it's not
works.
just from the X-Men movies, it's from quite a few of the movies.
Yeah.
I won't give all of them away because some of them are related to characters that were in the film.
Exactly.
That's neat.
Yeah, so it's very cool. It is very cool. I don't know, I cannot believe I've sat here and talked about Deadpool this long. I can, because it's me. But, okay, so we are swiftly moving on from Deadpool. Yes,
we are a gaming podcast.
Yes.
If you want to talk more about it, you should have come on Deadpool and Wolverine's
Pete, y'all should have... Well, I hadn't watched it yet. That's why.
You had every opportunity.
I know. I didn't watch it.
I told you months ago.
You did. You did. But, okay, let's talk about games. Games. Because this is what this podcast is all about. But, so God, this really sounds terrible. I have a channel. Come follow me over at KILEY_WILDE.
This is literally all she does on the show now. It's just shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion. If you want to see more of me. Why would you? I have no idea why you would, but I do. I have a Twitch channel now that is actually doing pretty decent. A few of our chatters are in my community as well, which I absolutely adore. Thank you so much. I'm still trying to get affiliate, so I need people to come watch me and follow me. But on Mondays, I play FPS games. So I played Fallen Aces. I am not going to lie. I picked this game because it's trending among my favorite streamers. And I was like, I can play this and be cool too, like them. No. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's a kind of noir feel. Like if you took Duke Nukem and you set him in like the 1950s. This is not a joke. It's like that. And instead of aliens, it was gangsters. Mobsters. Yeah, I mean, so the premise is good. Gameplay is a bit difficult, but that's okay.
I mean, was there more dick jokes?
No, see, that's the thing. That I will say, it did have humor, but the humor wasn't as strong as I think it could have been. But the guy was definitely...
It's not Duke Nukem.
I was going to say, the guy's definitely patterned after Duke Nukem. He looks like him. He talks like him. He's like that, you know, that gruff voice. Listen to me doing a boy voice. It's just like, and then you can everything is basically, well, not everything's destructible, but everything's kind of like you can pick it up and throw it, you know.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. I always do like that.
It's destructibles, okay.
Yeah. So it is a good, like, it's a solid game. I don't think I would have picked it up had I not watched, like, Call Me Kevin playing it and all the others. Yeah, get your bingo cards out. I said, call me Kevin. But so it was okay. It was okay. And then on Friday, I played scary games, horror games. And I got talked into playing Doki Doki Literature Club about 2 weeks ago. So I had been playing it, and to me, I said this on my own channel. I'm gonna say it here. I played, I've seen Game Grumps' like first episode of the Doki Doki Literature Club, and it was a dating sim. So I kind of gave up. I was like, okay. I mean, I do love the guys, but dating sims not my thing. And then everyone tells me it's horror, and I'm like, what? How? How?
Yeah, it had a real left turn somewhere.
I will say this, and I'm not going to do any spoilers, even though it's like a 10-year-old game at this point. So the first Friday I played it, which is my highest rated stream, by the way, it was just a dating sim. And I had to do 5 different character voices, by the way. That's insane. But it was just a dating sim, and, you know, but chats kept telling me, nope,
takes its time
Yep.
to build up.
Yep, they're like, just stick with it. And I'm like, okay, I trust you, chat. I trust you so much. Then the next week, which was past Friday, I played it again. First hour is just still more of this, like, poetry reading, trying to pick up this chick. I'm going for the intellectual because, of course, I would. And all of a sudden, in the last literal 5 minutes of my show, it takes a turn. It takes a big turn. Not 180 degree. Well, if I say 360, it goes back to the beginning. So 180 degree turn.
Congratulations, Cody. You worked out how degrees work.
Yay, math! And Danker, yes, Danker says, I missed the prize moment because he went to the loo. And then comes back and goes, oh, what did I miss?
You missed everything.
Well done.
So we've stopped it right at the, I'll say, the twist, for anyone who does know what is going on in Doki Doki Literature Club. And if you're into this, come join me on Friday. Yes, this is shameless self-promotion again, but come join me on Friday over on my channel because I think we're about to get into some crazy town. Cray stuff. Yes, and I am looking forward to it. It's so funny because I had a chatter come in, and she was like, I literally go around looking for people playing this, like their first time playthrough, because I just love watching the reactions. And she was amazing. She was great. So, yep, it's all...
Let's say the smeg is hitting the fan.
Exactly. It's just disgusting, but yes. So, yes, that's my 2 games for the week. Fallen Aces, which... maybe if the price drops a bit more, because I think it's like $10.99 on Steam. If the price drops, I think it would be worth it. It's fun. It's a fun, and it's got ongoing chapters. It's in, what is it, open access or whatever it's called? Early access?
Early access.
Early access. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's, it's still working on itself, but there's good points there. But,
games developing themselves now. Okay.
Yes, it's turned, self-actualizing.
Self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware.
That's the thing about early access. It can either get better or it can get worse, and you're sort of
Exactly.
helping to fund that development. And
I always.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just like to wait and see the actual full release at that point.
That's what she said. But I always use We Happy Few as a perfect example of a game gone wrong.
Yeah.
It started out so good, and then it became almost designed by committee because the more people that invested in it.
And Gearbox came around.
Yes, exactly. So what it started out as, it did not end up as. So early access can be good, or as Pete said, it can be hit or miss. But
yeah.
I think
And
then on the other side, there's Store Citizen. Which...
Oh, yes! Oh, gosh, yes!
And then on the completely other end, there is Fortnite.
Oh, goodness.
That stayed for early access for a long time.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, I recently started playing it this year because obvious reasons. But I have played it when it was in early access, or beta, I think is what it was in. And I really liked it and everything, and then I just forgot about it, and then it turned into something else, and
like, yeah, okay. That first season when it was in early access was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I liked it. I did. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. Is that the only game? I think that's the only games I played this week.
Good.
So we might actually start the show.
Good list of games for this week, though. A lot of diverse games there.
Yes, which is what you want on a games podcast.
Yeah. Speaking of diverse
and I'm even
games,
experimenting on doing my own.
Oh, I like that.
Godot.
Very
Do you
cool,
want to talk about any more about it, or should we leave it there?
It's just, at the moment, it's just an experiment with an idle game. I'm just a bit building in Godot.
Ooh.
Gonna wait and see how that turns out.
That's cool.
Very nice.
I look forward to it. Pete, you have to make me stop talking because I'm going to drink some more wine now. Out of my mug, by the way. For our listeners at home, I am drinking wine out of a mug. This is what I have become. But it is my Deadpool mug. I think I have.
You like your whiny.
Whiny, whiny, whiny.
Anyway,
I do love
shall we get on with the news? Because it's been a very interesting week for news.
Yes, because I'm off the internet, so I don't know any of this. I have nothing. Nothing.
So I think I'm gonna start with this one because I want to go from the happy to the sad. So we'll start with the happy news first. So we all remember what kind of an absolute S show it was earlier on in the year when Tango Gameworks was being shut down.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say you're gonna have to narrow that down.
Oh, there's been a lot, but how Microsoft decided to shut Tango Gameworks. Well, they are no longer on the chopping block because they've now been acquired by a new company. So let's get into this. So Tango Gameworks has been acquired by Krafton in a move that will keep the studio alive. So it's coming from VGC. So it was announced that they were going to close their doors in June. But South Korean publisher Krafton, who owns PUBG Studios and Callisto Protocol Studios Striking Distance, have announced that they've acquired Tango Gameworks.
Oh, Callisto Protocol is going to be free on Epic, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
That's not the publisher that I would have expected them
No, I definitely wouldn't have at all. But shall we read through the statement that was provided? So Krafton Inc. today welcomed the talented people of Tango Gameworks to their team, marking an exciting moment in the company's global expansion and its first significant investment in the Japanese video game market. This strategic move will include the rights to Tango Gameworks' acclaimed IP Hi-Fi Rush. Ooh. So the publisher plans to work with Xbox and ZeniMax to ensure a smooth transition and maintain continuity at Tango Gameworks. Saying that it wants the team to continue working on Hi-Fi Rush, IP, and other future projects.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
That's that's an interesting detail. Doesn't often happen that the IP goes with the studio.
Exactly. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, so Krafton says the move will have no impact on the studio's previous games, The Evil Within 1 and 2, so Ghostwire Tokyo and Hi-Fi Rush, which will all still be available on their existing platforms.
I really like Ghostwire Tokyo.
I never got around to playing it, even though it is on Game Pass now, so I probably should give it a try.
It's pretty good. I think you'd like it. Things. I do think you'd like it. I do.
Yeah, it was one of those games that was I liked the look of, and then it was PS5 exclusive for a while, and I was like... Kind of like the same with Deathloop. I was like, should I just wait until it's on Game Pass? Because we kind of know it's going to happen at some point. Because it was one of those ones where the contract was already signed with Sony before the acquisition by Microsoft, so it was, so it had that year's exclusivity. But I think this is great news. Obviously, it's never nice seeing a studio being closed down, especially by Microsoft or by anyone. Let's say.
Yeah.
But considering that they had a hit game, several hit projects, but they just, for some reason, got shuttered because Microsoft are crap at doing business. Just shows that, But yeah, I think CD said it rightly. This is not the studio that the company that I would have thought would take them on, at all.
Yeah. But
I think the projects before Hi-Fi Rush weren't all that breakthrough successes. So
not particularly, no. Evil Within 1 and 2, whilst some enjoyed them, they weren't the best games.
It was always a bit
in
terms of success. Hi-Fi Rush was pretty much a surprise breakthrough there.
Really was. It came out of nowhere and took everybody by surprise. But they put it on Game Pass, so how much money did they make from it? Probably nothing.
Who knows? But I think a lot of the buzz was centered around the fact that they had a project ongoing, and then they went, "Well, we've kept this a secret. Here's the reveal. Oh, by the way, it's shadow dropped."
Yes.
And it was a good game.
It was. It very much was.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I didn't complete it, but that's because rhythm action games are just not generally my kind of bag. Fair enough. But anyway. Like I said, the story goes from good to bad because we've had an unfortunate passing this week.
Oh dear!
In the world of voice acting and animation, because Rachel Lillis the voice of Misty and Jessie in Pokemon, passed away at the age of 46.
Oh, wow. Okay, I know that I'm old, but that seems very young.
It is very young. So,
Oh my
Liz
gosh.
passed away on, well, it was Saturday is when the article was written. So that was last Saturday. So, age 46 after a battle with breast cancer.
Oh, that's terrible.
So among numerous roles across films, games, and other media, she was the original English voice actor for Jessie and Misty.
Yeah.
But several have obviously been onto Twitter or X or whatever you bloody want to call it these days, because Elon Musk is a clown. Said, it is with a very heavy heart that I share the news of the passing of Rachel Lewis on Saturday evening, 10th of August. This was Veronica Taylor, who voiced Ash in Pokemon, said that. So Rachel was an extraordinary talent, a bright light that shone through her voice, whether speaking or singing. She'll forever be remembered for many animated roles she played, with her iconic performances of Misty and Jessie being the most beloved. Rachel was so thankful for all of the generous love and support she was given to her as she battled with cancer. It truly made a positive difference. Her family also wishes to thank you as take time to grieve privately.
Aww.
So there will be a memorial at a future date. Obviously, it'll probably be a private function for the family and close friends and colleagues. But there has been a GoFundMe set up earlier this year, and it's currently was at $100,000 at the time of writing. So there probably has been an update to that as of when we speak. So let's have a look and see.
Well,
yeah, it is currently 100,000 still.
Okay, that's good.
But,
well, I like what Mike said, which is, I'm glad you checked your facts. Eurogamer, who should know better, sourced New York Post, who had reported her age as 55.
Huh.
So, it's good to know that we got the right age. Which is also still heartbreaking, because to me, that's very young.
It's regardless of how you look at it, it's
because I'm 87.
Young. And you don't look a day over 25.
It's all the virgin blood I wash myself in.
Christ. Can we have a bit of seriousness for this terrible news? No,
yes, it is. No.
This is how people get through this, is with humour.
Exactly, but you're also not wrong. It is very sad. Mike says, what a smoothie you are, Pete. Yes, with us old ladies. But no, it is actually very, very sad. Because I know that Pokemon is very important to a lot of people's childhoods. I missed the boat just a little bit. We were more into the card game at school than the actual show and stuff. But I do know, like, those are iconic characters, that she voiced. So it is absolutely a terrible thing. And then, the way she passed is very, very...
it's very unfortunate. It's another along the line of massive names that we've had this year who have passed away in both video games, animation, as such. So it's a huge loss for the animation industry, for voice actors in general as well. So she's obviously done quite a lot for people's childhoods. So we should take a moment to remember, and mourn. Obviously, much respect and love goes out to her family. Obviously, that for this terrible loss. So let's take a moment to just remember the great work. Shame. Big shame.
Yes, absolutely.
But, however...
It's always interesting because just, I think on the same week or very close to this, another big name lost her battle with cancer as well.
Oh,
the YouTube CEO.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Susan Wojcicki.
Yeah.
She was the CEO because she stepped down last year, I think, probably due to health reasons.
Yeah, very likely. Yeah.
Yeah, and YouTube has been a flaming mess since then.
Hey.
Since then?
I know. I was trying to be nice, right?
Not to speak bad of dead people, but it's been a mess for quite some time.
I was trying not to speak ill.
I am finally
deceased.
I am finally getting some numbers, man. Come follow me on YouTube.
And we're back to that.
Oh my god. Let's use a passing for shameless self-promotion here, shall we?
Woo! Yeah. Follow me on YouTube and TikTok and Twitch. And X. I don't ever go on X, but you can follow me there if you want.
Speaking of people who might have a much more of a following on X or Twitter, a certain gentleman in Saudi Arabia, because they have currently broken a world record.
Okay.
So, let's just read through this. A man has achieved the Guinness World Record for having the most games consoles connected to one singular TV.
What?
Do you want to know what the number is, Kylie?
Yeah,
Can
go
you guess?
for it.
Go on, no, guess. I want you to guess. See, you know this story, so I'm not letting you guess.
Okay, for the most numbers, so we've got... It's just consoles, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Xbox.
Just consoles. It also depends on what your definition of console is.
Oh, great. Okay.
And I mean, I don't think it says it's unique consoles.
No.
It's just amount of consoles.
Oh, no, so he's like doubles?
There might be some doubles in there, yeah.
Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm against this. I'm going to guess 50.
Not even close. Not even close.
What?
And 13 from Danka, 25 from Nana, not even close. Keep going.
Way higher.
75?
Oh, keep going.
Way higher.
Keep going, Nana.
150?
Keep going.
Are you kidding me?
No.
300?
Mike's closer with 300.
Closer?
No, keep going.
Sir?
Denker said 69. Nice.
Lower, Nana. 500, he said. Lower.
Okay, so Mike said 300, Nana said 500, 400. Pete, I'll go with 400.
Danka said 69.
Nice.
Nice.
So, 400?
Mike is currently
Mike
the
is
closest,
almost
but
there.
going over, unfortunately.
425.
Shall I give you the number?
Yeah.
444.
Okay, I have a lot to say about this.
So let me just say, from the picture, I can see that there is a Genesis, a Mega Drive, the 32X attachment, plus there's the Mega CD, so that technically counts as free.
I mean, who knows how they
there's also the N64 and then the DD, so that counts as 2.
Possibly.
Okay, wait.
They also have a PS5 and PS5 Slim, so that's 2 more.
Okay, wait. Okay.
But even with that, you need a lot.
Like Daker says, don't want to see his power bill. That's for sure.
I dread to think the type of maintenance that will happen if he ever has a short out on any one of these consoles, because the cabling system must be something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why is this a record? Why is this a world record? This is like the person...
Let's go for it.
There's a person who ate like 700 eggs or something in like a minute. I'm exaggerating a bit. Maybe.
There was also a person who had a world record for the longest time without sleep until they deemed it too dangerous for anyone else to try and compete with that.
I thought you were going to say another S word. And I was going to be like, I win. But...
What, the longest dry spell?
Yeah. Let's see. Mike says it's fine. He probably has generators running on fossil fuels.
I mean, it's Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Are you surprised?
But here's the thing. I need to know
No one's
this.
claiming they're all on at the same time, so...
I don't think all of them are on at once.
I need to know, is this RF connected? Is this digital connected?
Oh, we'll
is
get
it HDMI?
okay. We shall get to this, alright?
Dagger says, long as shiitake mushroom. What are with these... world records.
Okay, right. So, in order to achieve this, Al Nasser, this is, Ibrahim Al Nasser is the gentleman from Saudi Arabia who currently holds this. He claimed that this is completely different to each other. Technically not true, but we won't fumble over that. In order to achieve this, has connected hundreds of consoles via several HDMI switches to a single television.
Okay.
He also maintains a spreadsheet with each console assigned to a specific HDMI switcher, so he's able to keep track of which console he plans to turn on. Yeah, I respect the organization.
I was gonna say, wait, okay, I find spreadsheets incredibly hot. When men have spreadsheets, I'm there. This might be typically...
You also find world records hot as well, so this is your perfect man.
Not these kind of world records! They have to have a purpose. They have to be like...
This has a purpose! He's an ultimate video game collector.
I mean, Mike says, it's gonna look like an electrician's nightmare with all those cables. Yeah, see, that's something I'm very into. Cable organization. Like, if I walk up in your house and you've got a million cables and they're just like a mishmash, I'm gonna turn around and walk out. But if I walk in your house and they're streamlined, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so he also made note of one particular console that was his favorite of all time.
Uh-huh.
What do you reckon it is?
What is that one that has a little crank on it? Playground? What is that?
No,
the Playdate.
Playmate. Playmate! They should have called it the Playmate. But yes, the Playdate. That one. I'm going with that one.
That's their next model, is the Playdate. Playmate, sorry.
Dacre says, well, now I know how to impress Kylie. Yes, spreadsheets. I'm a super nerd. I'm impressed by nerd things. God.
A spreadsheet full of comics collections is
don't even get me started.
Right up your alley.
I had that, Pete. I did.
I am organised by comics collection.
Oh, yes.
By issue number.
Issue number. No, not issue number. Chronological order. Because sometimes, issue 389 was a flashback. So I would have to put it in. Everything had to go in chronological order. Woo! Yeah, I do love spreadsheets, I'm not going to lie.
if we know why the camera's gone off.
Someone enters the bar with a shirt that has the Excel icon on it.
Yes!
Her head turns.
That's the one for me.
Mike Tendo in the chat is unfortunately incorrect with N64.
Oh yeah, so what was his favorite game console? Let's laugh at it.
Guess, come on.
PlayStation 2.
Incorrect.
Because that would be mine. Xbox 360, which would be my second favorite.
No, but it depends on where you are in the world. That might give you away.
Oh! So the Genesis, what did you guys call that? Sega, we call it Genesis. What did you call it?
Yeah,
Mega Drive?
That is the correct answer.
Yep.
The Mega Drive or the Genesis. He called it the Genesis, so clearly in Saudi Arabia.
Well, Nana says Mega Drive, and Decker says 3D. I remember 3DO, by the way.
Nobody's favourite console is the 3DO, not even Panasonic.
Oh my goodness, I remember it quite well. I also had a Dreamcast, which we've talked about before. Oof.
Yes, he has a few of those. So the impressive gaming collection doesn't also stop at consoles, because he does have several other items, including arcade machines.
Oh, I want.
And apparently there's a point that he raised on it. Lots of rare Metal Gear Solid merchandise.
Okay, good for you, buddy. I'm not gonna lie though. I really want to build a MAME cabinet. That's on my bucket list.
That would be amazing.
Because I own all the ROMs. Anyone that's listening
I was going to say, I might have a source for all the ROMs if you need those, because I have a legitimate source of them.
I own all the games, and my ROMs are justified because I own all the games, all of them, and that's what I do.
I own an arcade.
You know what? Maybe that's my next business venture, Pete. Oh my gosh!
Do you need a manager? Because I hear there might be a game around this.
I have to think about this. Pete, you might have just given me the best idea in the world. Well, we'll see that. It's Belfast. They don't really...
50-50, thank you. Just remember, ideas are currency.
That's true. There you go. I trade in that currency, that's for sure. Okay, look, here's what I have to say. Which is, I'm just reiterating what I already said. why is this a record? I don't, like, there's no practicality to it. It's just, I'm going to hook up all these game consoles and I'm going to keep hooking them up until I pass the record. There's no...
Yeah, it's just publicity.
Yeah, it's like, there's no end game.
It's just Guinness trying to make sure that they're cool still and relevant because nobody's buying their books.
I used to absolutely I would devour the Guinness World Record books when I was growing up.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Back
in the 2000s.
Well, even the late 90s, they were that thick, and I would just be like, and it's like, my favorite thing, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be very honest, because I come from a different time period than most of our listeners. The 2 favorite categories, this is not a joke, world's fattest person, and world's biggest vegetable.
America.
Those are my 2 favorite categories! And I knew because remember, I have Asperger's, so I knew everyone in the, like, top 10 of the weight categories and the top 10 vegetable categories.
At the time, what was the world's biggest vegetable then?
Oh, the world's biggest vegetable was a, God, what do you guys call that? We call it zucchini. I forget what you call it. Courgette. It was a courgette.
Okay.
It was massive. And then next was a pumpkin. So you're going to get me off. But I'm talking about the pumpkin. It was so big. It was probably big as this room. But
how big was it?
How big was it? But it was so big that the whole bottom of it was flat because the weight was so great. It made it grow flat, but then the top part of it was round. I'm a dork. If anyone didn't know that.
So you have to combine those 2 categories, and that makes up the Guinness World Diet.
Yes. Oh, and world's tallest and world's oldest. Those were my last.
I mean, they're respectable.
And then, oh my gosh, when I actually became an adult and could, like, drive to places, I went to, there's a place called San Antonio. It's in Texas. It's where the Alamo is. Yeah, San Antone. But yeah, and they have the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, I was in heaven. Not a joke. And I got to see, like, there was a headless chicken who could, like, do tricks. And then it was like, it was amazing. So it had a lot of, like, these Guinness World Record holders in the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum. And I was in, I was in nerd heaven. I'm sorry. That's just like, wait, I got that somewhere. Pete can't hear it, but I just did a bit on taste.
I got it.
And then it says, I mean, we're all dorks here. Yes! That's why I love my
Correct.
chat.
That's why we're here.
Let my dork flag fly.
Anyway, yeah, so...
Which also, wait, I do need to clarify. Dork is a whale's penis. That's not a joke. That is the name. That is why we call people dorks. Not a joke. Look it up. Verify it. This has been your fact with Kylie.
Humans finding ways to call people dickheads ever since the beginning of time.
It's true. Oh my goodness. This is Kylie. How many mags have you...
How many bags?
Whoa, that was a slip of the tongue!
Christ.
I am never going to live that down, Pete.
Oh dear.
How many mugs have I had? I'm on mug 3. I have 1 left. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that.
God.
That is going to bite me right in the ass.
Yes. It probably is, yeah. I have a quick question for the panel. Of these consoles, do you reckon that there is an old game series in there called Legacy of Kain?
I love Legacy of Kain!
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yes!
Because Legacy of Kain is making a return in collection form.
I'm okay with this!
Okay, so let's read. So Blaze Entertainment has announced the next range in its range of Evercade cartridges. So the Legacy of
I
Kain
don't
collection
have
will
an
feature the two PS1 era games on a single cartridge. So Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver, my favorite. Soul Reaver's my favorite.
So,
one of the first games I ever bought.
So, I think I know what Kiley thinks about this. CD, what do you think about this?
It's nice. I've never played those
so
games.
good.
I've been at the time PC exclusive, and haven't really dabbled into that action adventure genre and the like. But I've heard good things about them, so good on them to do this.
Yeah, so
Evercade has done quite a few releases so far, and quite a few good ones as well, I think.
I think they had a Capcom one recently, didn't they? So yeah, they seem to be getting some good pickups actually for those interested in Evercade, of course. Yeah. So
if I'm thinking correctly, this is number 41 in their
correct
list.
Yeah.
See, my problem is this. I love that Evercade exists. Don't get me wrong. But I don't have it down here. But I have my own handheld, which just plays all the ROMs I have. Why do I need to? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I need to get Evercade? I just get this for cheaper. Not that I'm encouraging that. Don't go selling the 7 Seas as I do. But that's my only thing with Evercade. But I guess if you want to be legal and above board, if you're one of those types.
I like it also in terms of game preservation and all.
Well, that's the thing.
Variations of games around is always good.
We're very, very big on the show about game preservations, and which is why I believe in ROMs and ISOs.
I mean, I do too, but I mean, the only one that got me close to even buying an Evercade was the Oliver Twins collection.
Oh goodness, Oliver Twins, yes.
Anyway, let's talk through this. So, this cartridge can be played on all Evercades and Super Pocket devices, including the Evercade Alpha tabletop arcade machine. So, Blaze has partnered with Crystal Dynamics for the cartridge, which will be released in September alongside the Bitmap Brothers Collection 2.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, so
which games that has?
I don't know. I'd have to check that out.
Bitmap Brothers is also a very, very nice developer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, this isn't the first Crystal Dynamics Evercade collection, because the Tomb Raider Collection 1 came out not too long ago as well. So, I mean, we can say all we want about Crystal Dynamics, but at least they're still allowing some of these older games to be released, no matter what they did to Tomb Raider Remastered.
Removing posters, anyone?
Putting trigger warnings. Which is so stupid.
I hate Crystal Dynamics for that.
Yeah, not a fan. But anyway, speaking of games that are being restored or being re-released,
yes,
there is an upcoming project from a certain Capcom, let's say, where the release date might have leaked out a few days ago, only to be removed a few hours later.
That's usually how it happens.
Because a potential release date for Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection has appeared briefly online before it was deleted. And I can tell you, I spotted this live. Because as soon as I saw it go live, I pre-ordered it.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
And this time it wasn't Amazon.
No, because the release date, and I will tell you how I noticed this, because the release date of November 22nd was listed on UK retailer Shop 2 before it was removed. Ooh. And I am a frequent customer of Shop 2. Wrong game. But yeah, so before it was taken down, screenshots of the release date were posted to Reset Era. And I don't know why they need to say this. VGC can confirm the legitimacy of the original listing, as can I. So,
goodness.
So whether the listing was changed due to inaccuracy or because Capcom has yet to announce the release date is unknown. However,
it doesn't sound like the usual placeholder date, though.
Do you
Right.
reckon, and this is rampant speculation on my part, and considering that Capcom seem to have a good relationship with a certain presenter of certain shield-based events,
Oh dear.
we may get an announcement
Yeah,
of
this
the
will
release
probably
date
be
at
dropped
Gamescom Live?
Yeah,
Oh,
at the
goodness.
at the opening night live. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure.
my
Yeah, pretty sure it's gonna be there.
Oh dear.
that's my thinking behind it as well. So it might have been that they accidentally put this listing too early.
Yep.
However,
That's not
yeah,
the usual placeholder date, which would be usually around the end of the year or something like that.
yeah.
Right.
Usually in that instance, they would put like a
point.
like a 31st of December, like 2099
End of
or
the
something
year,
stupid like that.
something like that. Usually, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I managed to secure my copy, so that pre-order is not going anywhere at the moment. Thank goodness. So I will be buying this twice because I will be buying a physical collection to stay sealed forever.
Of course you would, Pete.
And it's also a Friday, that date.
Oh, that's
So-
weird.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah, but I guess.
I think that's the usual date, depending on the area.
Ah, okay. Because it's usually Tuesday. That's like a-
Not over here. No, Friday's a usual release date over in
Really?
the UK.
Really?
Yeah, I think Tuesday is an American.
I was gonna
standard.
say. I guess I'm still in the U.S. mindset.
Yeah.
It was a
And,
Tuesday.
And just to give you an update on this one, because the Capcom Fighting Collection, which I ordered for PlayStation, has now stated on the pre-orders a future date to be defined.
Oh goodness.
So they have updated that, but I did see it, which is why they accidentally sent all the tweets and the notifications out, to go live on socials, which is where I spotted it, and because of that, I then went and ordered it.
For chat,
Yeah.
I am
Yes.
on mug 4, so whoever said I was gonna make it to 4, you win.
Well done.
You win. I did it. Woohoo!
With that perspective, it almost looked like that bottle was connected via cable.
Well, this is my Guinness World Record.
I'm kind of doubting that.
I think you could do more. I mean, you
I
achieved.
have, yeah.
What was it? 2 or 3 bottles on a happy hour once.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, happy hour. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was 2 bottles.
It was 4 hours of stream.
6
Very
hours,
happy
Pete.
after that.
Okay, I was there for 4-hour one.
Yeah, see, we had a 6-hour show, and I drank 2 bottles of wine.
I wasn't involved in
It
this.
was a very
6-hour
happy
stream.
hour.
It was a very happy hour. It really was. I don't even remember half of what I said the last hour. I had to go back and watch
It
it.
was live streamed.
It was live streamed, so I had to go back and watch it. And then not long after that, I fell out of my chair. So.
Oh, that was hilarious. That
But
got clipped.
to be fair, I didn't fall out of my chair because I was drinking wine. This chair that I bought, it doesn't roll very well on the carpet, and combined with
You tried to roll and it
I did!
stopped.
it
and
did, yes, and I went
Yeah, and then she tried to get back on the chair and
Twice!
rolled away again. Yeah.
twice, and I couldn't convince chat at all that it was not because I was drinking. Nobody believed me, but I was like, I swear it's not that. It got stuck on the
I'm pretty
carpet.
sure. Wasn't I on the call for this one?
Yes, this was during a
and
rapid review show.
I didn't believe you.
Yeah, let's see. Mike says.
Mike, the only reply to that is, I'm already home.
Danka, there is currently footage out there. I believe.
Yes, it's in the clip section. I believe Nana clipped it, and it's a short over on YouTube. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, I posted it up on YouTube.
I fell out twice. I cannot, and I was like, I swear it's not because I'm drinking, but nobody believed that because obviously I was drinking. I'll never live that down. Oh my goodness.
Never.
But yes.
Yeah, I thought do over. That first one wasn't good enough.
Anyway.
Oh, goodness.
So, I've added this one to the recent story list because this is an interesting story. So, you know, Sunday Times has revealed the UK's top 30th richest game developers and players.
Oh, are we talking about...
This is part of the Sunday Times rich list that they reveal every year for some reason.
I've got a lot to say about that, but that's on another podcast. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to say this right quick. Forbes 30 under 30, by the way, they don't vote for that. You buy that. So if you hear anyone say, I made Forbes 30 under 30, it's because they paid something like $5,000 to do it. It isn't a nominated thing. It isn't a voted thing. Okay. Anyway, that's a little bit of pet peeve of mine. Oh, yes, Nana has shared that lovely clip that I'll never live down in the chat. But
anyway. I have seen that scene several times. It's hilarious.
Mike says, if you've ever seen Bridget Jones' Diary, the fireman pool scene, that was pretty much the same energy as Kiley falling out of her chair. And then Nana says, yes. Wait, really? I didn't know that. Thanks for the info. Yeah, because I'm not going to lie. I'm a very ambitious person, as we know. Ambitious person. I haven't been drinking wine at all. Out of a mug. So when I reached like 29 and I was already a business owner of several businesses and quite successful even in my own right, I was kind of pissed. And then I did the research and then I found out research. I was like, oh, so you pay to be on 30 under 30, and I've never trusted it since, ever. Anyway, Pete, go on with your story.
Okay, so the inaugural edition of the Gaming Rich List, which is basically an offshoot of the Sunday Times Rich List.
Now,
a video game themed version of its long-running Rich List, yeah.
But is it indie, or are we talking about commercial developers, like AAA or indie?
I don't know. We'll have to go through this because I haven't verified it. But yeah, it's I mean, it's the Sunday Times. It's a very mainstream publication anyway, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's similar to the Forbes Rich List or 30 under 30 or whatever. So but the long-running Rich List, or the Gaming Rich List, is led by Russian-born brothers Igor and Dmitry Buchman. Estimated fortune of 12.5 billion. It's a lot of capital. But they actually placed 27th overall in the Rich List of 2024, and they're the co-founders of Playrix. Popular mobile games, Township, Fishdom, and Homescapes.
Mobile games, of course.
Yep.
Standard. While the Rich List is largely dominated by game developers, including notable names like lead Sam and Dan Houser from Take-Two.
Yeah.
They ranked 4th with an estimated wealth of 350 million.
But Dan Houser doesn't work for Take-Two anymore.
No. Other names include game retail boss Neil Taylor, who co-founded this chain of stores.
Yeah.
Other notable names include King co-founder and former CEO Riccardo Zacconi, 410 mil. But this is an interesting one.
But King is owned by Microsoft now.
Well, it was owned by Activision, which is now owned by Microsoft. But yeah, he would. That's why I said co-founder and former CEO.
Oh, okay. I missed the former. Okay, Pete. Sorry, that was on me.
Okay. The next one is interesting. At 335 million, is the creator of Gary's Mod, Gary Newman.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's insane. How does he make money on Gary's Mod? It's a free mod.
I have no idea.
I really love looking at stuff that's done in Gary's Mod.
I'm gonna. I know it's a flash in the pan. You could guess literally anybody in the world. The next on the list, or one of the other notable names on the list, is quite a surprising one.
Rusty Shackleton.
That's cost $9.99, so.
I'll give you a hint. They are technically an indie game developer.
Oh no, that's not. Bungie's not indie anymore.
Technically.
Oh.
They may have had a game published by a first-party studio that did not do well. And CD, this may have come up on the podcast a couple of weeks ago that we recorded.
I don't know.
That'd be. Shall I give it to you?
Yes, give it to me, Pete.
Hello Games co-founder Sean Murray with 94 million.
Okay.
What is what is that? Tell me.
No Man's Sky.
Oh, right. Okay. No Man's Sky is another one that I almost mentioned a little bit ago, where it started as one thing
that's definitely
and became
an indie
another.
developer.
Yeah. So Rebellion founders Chris and Jason Kingsley at
I like
120 million.
Nice. I like Rebellion.
So Luca Galati, who's the developer behind Vampire Survivors,
Oh, I
40 million.
Yeah.
So content creators also made the list.
Love it.
I'm not mentioning these absolute shitheads, so they can screw off.
I need to know what my competition is, Pete.
The Sidemen. KSI and the Sidemen.
I don't know who that is.
Just
They
don't bother.
Okay, because they don't
They're just
mean anything.
a bunch of
to me.
twats anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all you need to know about video gamers on the video game developers on the rich list.
Nana says, I forget Sidemen exist. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, so I only know because one of them got into some controversy a little bit ago. Or possibly some YouTube boxing. It was the KSI was the guy who
I know KSI is.
Paul.
Yeah, so is KSI.
Well, that's his company. Is the side.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I do know who KSI is. Yes.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, KSI and the Sidemen. 50 million for them.
Do you know,
YouTube does pay.
I briefly dated a YouTuber. Very briefly. For 10 months. It was
And then you became
weird.
a YouTuber.
And then I became a YouTuber. It was a weird experience. I'm not going to lie. Now, in the end, he had a secret girlfriend that I didn't know about. So he kind of just dropped that bomb on me. But it was an interesting world that I got to be a part of.
It sounds like a recurring theme for YouTubers.
I know! Or that's what I thought you said, recurring theme for me.
No, just YouTubers.
Yeah. But see, here's the funny thing. He was a producer for another YouTuber, a very, very, very successful YouTuber. And then I was looking at my numbers the other day. And one of my videos is suggested at the end of that YouTuber's video. And I was like, no!
Whoops!
Why can't I escape?
God damn it. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they ever tell you about
soon you'll be accused of just dating him to get
see that?
and
Yes,
then
exactly.
making the money off it.
Exactly. Like all that was being thrown around at the time. Anyway, it's like, oh, you only did it for clout. No, I'm not.
No, you didn't. I don't think so.
Nana
Or so
said,
you say.
And then I said, yeah, I was going to say, it sadly seems like a recurring theme for Kylie. I've got to stop dating performers. I need to be
You are a performer, Kylie.
I was going to say, I should be a performer.
Anyway, back to the story.
Performative dates.
So, yeah, back to the story. If anyone ever tells you that the video games industry is in dire straits, look at these people. They're clearly making bank.
Okay.
Although not all of them are shitheads, because Sean Murray has actually done a pretty decent job since No Man's Sky's come out and not launched well.
No Man's Sky, we've talked about that many times on this show. Mike says you're performing right now.
That's the point.
I just need a geeky nerd, please. That's all I want. Anyway, but we have watched No Man's Sky. It dropped and it was terrible because they had done the kind of what's his name, Peter
Molyneux.
Thank you, Molyneux thing where they made
I
giant.
still didn't even pronounce it right.
Molyneux.
Hair in your head.
I've had wine. That's close enough.
Butter in my mouth.
But they did that thing where they overpromised and underperformed. What they released was terrible. Why lie? It was awful. And I knew it was going to be awful when I saw, like, one of their presentations before. I think it was at E3. I'm not entirely sure because that's, like,
it probably
2016.
was that stage show at E3 before
so.
they launched.
And I was like,
because that was their big showcase of what the game was going to
yes,
be, and they overpromised and
under-delivered. And I was telling anyone that I was in contact with that was watching this show with me, I was like, they're overpromising, and they did, but they have since really redeemed themselves. I'm not gonna lie, they have really pulled out all the stops. So for them, I want them to succeed. I would like to see them succeed. Yeah, because they have really taken care of their product, but also their community.
Hello Games has succeeded. They've massively sold and sold and sold and sold. So that's why they can afford making updates to the game to this point and developing their next game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've also released The Last Campfire about a year or so ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's about a year ago.
They have other projects in the works, but they're just constantly evolving and updating No Man's Sky constantly. So it was clear that they might have overpromised.
They did in the beginning.
Delivered on all the promise in the end.
But see,
and then some.
Well, see, that's why I kept an open mind about Cyberpunk, believe it or not. Now, again, if you're a longtime listener of the show and watcher, you'll know our relationship with Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I got stung for 2 copies on launch day. Thank you.
Yes, because Pete bought me one. He got me one
for Christmas.
For Christmas, that's my Christmas present. But
sorry, worst Christmas present ever. I gave you a broken nose.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't on you though, Pete. That's for sure. But
I know, but still.
Yeah, like, let's not lie. When Cyberpunk came out, it was terrible. It was so far behind, graphically speaking. The glitches and it was just bad. It was just bad.
Especially counting the last gen console version.
Yes, exactly. And then it's just we've really struggled with this new gen. Not gonna lie, but they've really done a lot. They released that Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
Yeah.
I almost called it Liberty Prime, which is Fallout.
Which some other podcasts have called Fanny Libs for sure.
Oh my goodness! I think that's hilarious, actually. I really enjoyed Phantom Liberty. I really did I say that right? Yes. Okay.
Hurry.
There's not peanut butter again.
God, yes. Oh, peanut butter sounds good.
Cyberpunk 2077, peanut butter.
Woo! I'm definitely having a peanut butter sandwich after this. But anyway,
oh my god,
it's not here nor there. But we've seen this many times, and Cyberpunk, I think, is the greatest example of this. But the second greatest example of this is New Vegas, which is one of my top 3 games of all time. When New Vegas came out, it was crap. Absolute crap. And it came out in 2010, so, like, you didn't really have the automatic updates that we have now. They still pushed an update, and that update did help a lot. And now it has grown. It's got a cult following. I'm one of the members of the cult. I freaking love New Vegas.
Obsidian cult.
Yes, exactly. I love Obsidian. I really do. I just hope their new stuff is good. So we've seen this, many times. A game can come out and it's crap. Because honestly, they've probably released it too early, if we're being honest.
Yep.
But they can redeem themselves, and I think that No Man's Sky is a absolute shining example of that. It was crap when it came out, and anyone that says different just either wasn't old enough or didn't pay attention.
I'll say it definitely did not deliver on the promise.
It didn't.
If you took it for what it is, it could be enjoyable. I'll just say that, because I did have some. I did have some fun hours with it.
Yes.
When it released.
Absolutely.
But it definitely was not what they promised. That's for sure.
It wasn't. It felt more. This is going to be a weird comparison. This is going to be a very strange comparison. It almost felt more like Spore. I know that's a weird comparison because that's a Maxis product. But
wow.
Yeah, I know. Like I know, but it did kind of like kick off.
Yeah, I can see that.
See, exactly. You have to kind of bend your mind a little bit to get around it, but then
mind into a pretzel.
Yeah, exactly. But then,
yeah, I can see that because yeah.
Exactly. But when they started to do the updates and they really started to introduce more of what they promised, it became an actually really...
And then even introduced things they didn't ever promise.
Well, that's true too.
Added on and added on.
They added
I was
people.
going to say the greatest thing that they did was just releasing content after content after content for free.
That's that right there, Pete. That is not a joke. That is the key. If you, I can't say that word because we are live on our podcast. If you mess up, F up. The best thing. I mean, I've worked in customer service for a really long time because I'm really old. But if you work in customer service, you know that the best remedy is to offer something for free. They did that, and it really did reestablish their kind of goodwill towards the gaming community. I think it went really, really far. And it became, I will say this, like, we've talked about this again on the show, Starfield. I had such high... Yes! I had such high hopes for Starfield. It's, I mean, a freaking, you know, it's just exactly what I should, you know, like, I'm a Fallout fan. I was going to say Oblivion. Elder Scrolls fan. Yeah, like, and then, yes, space fan. And we've talked very much often about the dogfights in various space games. That is so me. So Starfield should have been amazing.
Yeah, but then again, it's Bethesda. So
I know! But see, I'm a Bethesda fangirl. Like, unapologetically. Up until Starfield, on this show, I've been a Bethesda fangirl. I love Bethesda. But I actually love Obsidian, I think is really what it is.
I think it probably is.
Yeah. And so I had just high hopes for this. We watched the reveal trailer. We watched the teaser trailer. We watched the 45-minute Microsoft
showcase.
And I was like, yes, okay, it's going to be amazing. And then it came out and it was crap.
Sorry, no, Kylie. This is revisionist history if I've ever heard it in my life. You watched some of the trailers with Kieran and myself, and you said it looked like crap.
Yes, me and Kieran both.
And I was the one on the other side going, I think this looks great. I got sucked into the Bethesda problem. I was like, this is going to be great. This is going to be brilliant. And then it came out, and I was like, this is a load of crap.
So, okay, this is actually what happened. Me, Kieran, and Pete watched the first teaser trailer. Me and Kieran were like, this is going to be the greatest game ever. And Pete was like, no. And then we watched the, like, 45-minute presentation or whatever. And then suddenly, Pete was like, this is going to be amazing. And me and Kieran were like,
I said it was going to be amazing. I said I'm really excited about it. It looks interesting. Actually, something I want to play.
Yeah, well, Mike says, why is it that games that start with star, quote unquote, aim for the skies but fail to deliver? Now, that is a very good tagline. Starfield, Starlink, Star Citizen. Some Star Wars games. I know. But
I'm at this point. I'm going to say most Star Wars games.
No. See, okay. Now this is funny because something that
I mean, it's a licensed property, so obviously there's a crap load of games there. But there
right,
are quite a few good
and I'm not
games.
gonna lie. I am absolutely looking for Outlaw. I will be streaming that on my channel. Please come follow me at KILEY_WILDE.
Oh my god, shameless promotion.
Because I will absolutely be playing that.
I will not be playing the game anywhere on Twitch or anywhere at all, so I'll just live vicariously.
Come watch me. But something that I said way back, a year ago on our, oops, I just knocked my lights down.
Oh my god.
On our Starfield episode was something that I absolutely loved about Lego Star Wars is this is not a joke. Their dogfights were amazing not for any game, not just a Lego game. For any game, you get to fly out the Millennium Falcon. And I ain't been drinking at all. And you get to go in, 6 parsecs. But But actually, they really did the dogfights so well done. Still remains some of my favorite dogfights next to the Battlestar Galactica game. But I do love Battlestar Galactica, so there's a little bias there. But so they did amazing dogfights. This was what, 2000? I want to say 8. I think when Lego Star Wars came out.
2006, 7.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Game, I believe,
because there are a few.
There are a few.
I
That's
think
true.
I think the original release was around about that because I know that they got remastered for the 360.
Yeah. Okay. So
initially,
that's what I was playing.
Because they had the original trilogy, then they had the prequel trilogy, didn't they?
Yes, and that's what I was playing was the original trilogy. They did it so well that I could not believe that here we are, all these years later, and Bethesda couldn't even do dogfights for Starfield. I just am like mystified. Whereas, No Man's Sky. Oh, right. So Mike says I can agree with that, Pete. Whatever you said.
Most are terrible.
Yes. Nana says that's the name for this episode, drinking it all. Nana says also, I don't know if you're on the last story or not, but Bully just got... What? Are we going to talk about Bully? I would like to talk about Bully.
I am...
The remaster is happening for real this time? Okay, so for people who don't know...
Hang on. I'm gonna...
Bully
Let me
is...
verify this.
Okay, Bully is the Rockstar product, and it's an absolutely underrated game. I enjoyed Bully so much. It is absolutely GTA, but with teenagers who don't drive cars. They ride bikes and beat up homeless Santa Claus. And wear weird costumes and stuff. Yes, Mike Tendo says Bully. Oh, he's posted a link, Pete.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, so...
I'm going to try and set up my lights again.
Yeah, so it's the Warrior 64 link.
Oh, wow, I really broke my lights.
So the story is coming from Gamatsu. Let's look.
Said with full 1930s macho figure.
Yeah,
Bully!
Taiwan Digital Games Rating Committee has rated Bully Canis Canon Edit, depending on where you are, for PS5, Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Wow, I really just broke my lights.
This is what happens when Kiley drinks at 6 parsecs.
Yes! Best ever comment ever.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's some degree of validity for this story, of course. We'll have to wait until the official announcement, but if it's been rated, then there's probably likely something.
I was gonna say if there's a remaster, I'm gonna play it on my channel over at KILEY_WILDE.
I mean, look, I've got the original version to play on PS2 at any point. It's a great game. I really enjoyed it.
I do. Except for the boxing part.
That's quite terrible,
It just keeps repeating himself. He's like, sting like a bee.
It's quite bad. But yeah, the story itself is interesting.
Why won't you stay up?
And the gameplay's... it's, I'd say it's somewhat of a departure to the usual Rockstar formula of the times. So.
It is and it isn't. Because it does still follow... it does still follow the kind of typical... here's the mission. It is still a very kind of GTA, even Red Dead Redemption kind of like, here's the map, here's your missions, that kind of thing. But it's such
building blocks.
Yeah, exactly. But it has such a different experience because you are, a kid trying to do well at school, and you can't really. I mean, you can still bikes, but you can't steal vehicles. And like I said, you can beat up homeless Santa Claus.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to do that?
Anyway, does that then mean that this long rumored sequel is much closer to a reality, or with what was it with Dan Houser or Sam Houser or whoever it was that left leaving?
Dan Houser left.
Sequels.
Yeah,
I don't see
They're
it
much
happening.
too focused on new GTAs and
Yeah.
the GTA Online stuff and all that.
Very true.
I am.
Is there not a way that they could turn Bully into online?
I don't
Bully
know.
Online, I mean, that's just the internet.
That's true.
Wait.
Good point, actually.
Yeah, fair point.
I am quite curious how the new GTA is gonna fare. But Bully has.
I was going to say, we'll talk about this briefly because we have got one last story that we
okay.
feature story, but carry on.
Well, I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm concerned about the new GTA. Because they made so much money from GTA Online. I don't know how much of this is going to be a playable game versus, join our online, version, and you'll get all the better, the better storylines, the better prizes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, whether or not they turn it into like a live service, basically.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Kind of
like
how they did with Destiny, where it's like episodic,
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about that.
I don't think so. I think they'll keep doing it like it's their entry drug, so to speak.
Right.
They're gonna reel the people in with their regular game, and then they're gonna give them the GTA Online experience.
Right.
This time updated with the new engine and everything.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. I have two thoughts on that. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my favorite games. I know that that's not everybody's cup of tea. It's kind of a slow burner. But it was quite emotional for me. I actually cried at the end. And
The story is great. I just think a lot of the stuff in it is so unnecessary.
It's very rockstar.
It's a very outdated
its own
mission
thing.
structure as well.
Very formulaic. But they never did DLC for that, and I'm.
They never did
Yeah,
DLC
they
for
did
GTA
try
5
the Red Dead
either.
Online
They
thing.
did,
but
and it
they
didn't-
pretty much
Yeah.
scrapped it.
I was gonna say the first day of Red Dead Online was like the servers blew, and they never.
What they did for GTA 5 too.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they never quite recovered from that. So I was always disappointed that they didn't explore that more fully because
Well, it was also the hideous microtransactions that they had for that game too.
I mean, GTA Online has microtransactions.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Red Dead
that's
Online
not
was
the difference, really.
Well, see,
I know, but Red Dead Online was so egregiously bad on day one as well. It was like the economy was so poor in that game, and it basically did force you to go and actually pay.
See, I would have paid money for a DLC as opposed to being online, Red Dead Redemption Online.
I think a lot of people would. The
I do
Undead
too.
Nightmare kind of proved that for the first Red Dead Redemption.
So
I mean, probably with GTA 5 as well. A lot of people would have bought DLC, but the GTA Online is just much bigger moneymaker for them.
Exactly. Well, see, that's the thing. That was my next point. Is GTA 5 has been their kind of like bread and butter. It took off. No one knew it was going to take off like that because then it also spawned GTA 5 RPs, which I used to watch all the time. And it's kind of got its
And it's
own...
been their Skyrim ever since.
Exactly, that's it, exactly. And they have a version on every console, just like Skyrim. And they sell it, and they sell out every single time. Like
except the Switch.
Is it on the Switch? Is it available on the Switch? That's crazy.
Skyrim's on the Switch, but GTA 5 isn't.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't realize
I think
that.
GTA 5 might be slightly too much for the Switch.
It probably is. Although they did do Witcher 3.
Yeah, but it was just proving that it's not on everything.
Right. Okay. Good point. Actually.
Yeah.
Mike says was just gonna say that, Pete. But
which was also massively downgraded. I mean, that's more limiting than running on the system.
Yes.
Yeah, oh god, the load times on Witcher 3 on Switch was just.
Can we just say, like, I mean, props to Switch because they're like 5 years behind in technology, and it's still one of the top selling consoles.
I mean,
so
it's been behind in technology
when it came
since
out,
the release.
I was gonna say yes. Yes,
Yeah, you've been
shit
saying
was
it for
already
ages. It was
behind.
already
Yes.
well outdated before when it came out.
If lockdown hadn't happened, I don't think it would have took off as much as it did.
No, it already had taken off up until that point. That just
Ugh.
catapulted it
Animal
off.
Crossing
did.
just took
And
it
then-
to
But-
new.
Yes.
It
The
was
nebulous
still
phase.
it was still way up already at that point.
Oh, it was like it came out behind. It did. So
But that's Nintendo.
Yeah, but the
And,
proof's in the pudding.
it
Don't
has
always
it
Nintendo.
had a unique selling point
It
with
did.
their mobility and everything. So that's
Yeah.
Nintendo did everything
I've
pretty
talked.
much perfect there.
I've said this before a million times on this show, but that very first, I think it was at E3 where you first saw the teaser trailer for the Switch.
It wasn't at E3. It was their own.
It was at
announcement
that- okay.
trailer that they sent out like in October of 2016.
Okay, I watched that trailer and I audibly, no one was around me because I don't have friends. I audibly said, "Oh, this is never gonna work. Oh, this is a bad move."
I remember turning round after watching that trailer to my friends at the time, and I said, "This is going to be crap.
Yeah.
This is going to fail
Yeah.
miserably.
It's a
What
dumb
the hell
name.
is Nintendo doing?"
Yeah, it's a dumb name. Nobody's gonna want to like take their thing away from their TV and then go off with it. What are they thinking? Blah blah blah. And then it took off, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
had my reservations, but yet still bought one 2 days after release date.
Well, I bought one, and as we know, I've turned it on once, which was just
Anyway,
to make
that
an
was-
account. Yeah, that was it.
That's
I've never
quite
played
some
it.
tangent.
I know.
Quite some tangent.
That's
I know,
what
it's great.
tangent time.
Yeah. So we've got one last story. This one might be a little bit longer, which is why I was trying to get through to it as quickly as possible.
That's what she said, Pete.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because it might have something to do with that.
Oh, why?
Because video game actors want less secrecy over projects when explicit scenes are involved.
Wait, I don't think I understand those words put in that order. Try
So,
that again.
Video game performers want less secrecy over projects they sign up for because it can sometimes lead to them performing in distressing scenes without warning.
I'm still not getting it. Go for it, Pete. Read
The
this
BBC
story.
cites numerous motion capture and voice acting performers who say that they want the industry to be less secretive over the games they're providing performance for. So, casting director Jessica Jeffries told the BBC the performers are often told nothing by developers about the nature of the game or the scenes that they're shooting until the last minute.
Oh, okay. Now I'm getting it. Okay,
So,
okay.
quote, "We'd get an email or a call from a studio saying, we need you on these days for a shoot," she explained. That's all the information we'd get. Jeffries said she had experienced distressing examples of this firsthand, including one situation where she was asked to play the victim of a sexual assault without being told about it beforehand.
Okay, I'm kind of getting that then.
Quote, "I turned up and was told that I would be filming, what I would be filming would be a graphic rape scene."
Oh, yeah, see, that would... As an actor, you have to get in the mindset. They should be told that beforehand.
Yeah, so quote, "This act could be watched for as long or as little time as the player wanted for a window, and then a player would be able to shoot this character in the head. It was just purely gratuitous in my opinion." She also added, "There was no nudity involved, but it's still an act, and there is an intimacy in that act, and also a violence in that situation. So yes, there are many layers of lycra between us, but you are still there and still having to truly immerse yourself in the scene."
Well, yeah, that's the thing. As an actor, it depends on what method of acting you use, as in method acting. But if you're a method actor, you completely immerse yourself into that. And I think that, yeah, they should be told beforehand, 100%. Yeah, just so they can mentally prepare.
Anyway, as a result of this, she refused to do the scene and ultimately wasn't recorded that day.
I can't blame
but
her.
argued that performers should never be put in a position where they have to, quote, "kick up a fuss about explicit scenes they weren't aware of, especially if, as in her situation, they're the only woman on set.
Ooh, see, okay, so this is not a joke. When you're an actor, voice actor, or a performer, or a motion capture actor, there is something called...
Motion capture artist.
There you go, artist. There is something called an intimacy coach. That's not a joke. That is an actual thing.
It's now a Hollywood thing. Intimacy coordinators.
Oh, okay. So they've upgraded it to intimacy coordinator.
And yet you look at any scene in Hollywood films nowadays, and there's no intimacy.
It depends. It depends on what what your medium is, what your movie is, blah blah blah.
Okay.
The fact that there was no intimacy coach, which, okay, I'm not gonna lie, you guys know I'm into performance and blah blah blah. When I first heard of intimacy coach, or as Pete calls it, coordinator, I rolled my eyes. I was like, that's so dumb. But now I've spoken with other. Usually it's actresses. I'm going to be honest. It is usually actresses and some actors, but it is usually actresses. It is actually very important. It is a very important part to them. I personally don't need that, but that's just because I'm a different type of human. But the fact that these voice actors, who are also usually, not always, but motion capture artists, as Pete put it, they probably should have that, especially if you're doing a scene as dramatic as, a sexual assault type scene. So, I don't actually think that they're completely wrong in this. I would like to see a little bit more. Like, I think that before they fully agree and sign the contract, they should be told up front, hey, this is going to happen. Hey, there's a rape scene. Now, a lot of actresses... Go ahead. What'd you say?
And also, they should be getting some kind of list of,
yes,
you're going into this, and this date is gonna have this scenes and these scenes and these scenes and all, like.
Exactly.
Even if nothing else, but to be prepared for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
If you're going to embody a character, you need to know their motivations. You need to know what their, what their likes, their dislikes, and all that are. You need to embody the character itself, and that is in heart and mind and soul.
Yeah, but secrecy in this case just hurts the whole product.
I 100% agree with what CD just said. Nana says, in terms of this story, yeah, they should, but also I can't see this changing. Because that would require saying something that led into leaks, which game companies are trying to avoid. And I do understand that, and I'll talk about that in a second. That's what NDAs are for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly the point is that this is something that should be covered by an NDA, 100%.
Yes.
And if they leak something, they're going to have difficulty getting more jobs. So
exactly.
They only hurt themselves.
Mike says, if I can understand if the actor isn't told what game it is, but at least told what the role is going to be beforehand. Now, I mean,
generally they would know what game it would be that they're performing for, or they would at least have a code name or a general idea of what the game is.
Now, I'm going to use a very kind of weird example here. So, Fallout 3 specifically. It has a DJ called Three Dog, and the guy that does the voice for it is, he's so good. He's a voice actor that's just no motion capture needed because obviously it's Fallout. When Fallout 4 started, before it was dropped, before it was released, he had actually recorded lines for Fallout 4, which was very confusing because it doesn't. That's not the same timeline. And he came out and said, oh my gosh, I just finished doing these lines. It's going to be so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Bethesda came out and said, dude, you just broke your NDA. Bye-bye. And they let him go. And
that is exactly within their right to do so because he signed a contract.
100%. The community did kind of kick off about it because he's a very beloved, voice actor in the Fallout community. But... yeah. He also wasn't told the specifics. What he said in his tweet was, I've recorded lines for the new Fallout game. And Bethesda just like, whoosh, dropped down on him, and he is not in Fallout 4. I don't know what he recorded. I don't know what lines he recorded. But it's 2 different timelines, so I can't even say. But I'm saying that to say that, yes, they do ask that you sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. And I can see that. But if you're a performer, if you're doing motion capture, I think that there should be maybe a little bit more checks and balances. Because that is like... that's some really intense acting. I've said before, Crystal Dynamics... Well, Crystal Dynamics being the perfect example for this. Crystal Dynamics made Lara, as you guys call her. I call her Laura because I'm an American. But Lara Croft, they made her a victim of sexual assault. That never set well with me.
The reboot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm so against that.
Yeah.
And it does seem to be a kind of like fallback on, we want to make this strong female character. Let's sexually assault her, and then she'll suddenly become strong. That's not how real life works.
Yeah, she'll shoot a deer, and then she'll become the ultimate villain.
Yeah. I hate Crystal Dynamics version.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah, exactly. But having said that, I mean, they did inform, I forget her name, but because she had 2. She had a motion capture and a voice. They were separate.
Luddington.
Yeah, and they informed her straight up, and I still think it was a dumb, weak plot point that I'm very against, but they did inform her first, and that's kind of my point, is just say that that's gonna happen. Just prepare them. What's the harm in that? They do sign NDAs.
Not just 5 minutes before the recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you have to get in the right headspace.
That's the thing, when it comes to like Hollywood movies, you would have the script right there in front of you. Yes, rewrites and reshoots are likely to happen, and things might be added and taken away over time.
Yeah.
But it should be the similar sort of principle, especially if there's a union that would be overseeing most of this, and most of this is overseen by SAG-AFTRA anyway.
Right.
So you would expect that there would probably be similar rules that would be in place for motion capture artists, voice actors, and all that. But this is obviously where the strike is now coming into effect. That, they're trying to fight for certain rights to, and this is clearly the story that's coming off of the back of the strikes that are going on.
Exactly. Mike says, I can understand if the actor isn't told what the game is, but at least told what the role is going to be beforehand. 100% agree. Yep. And what the role entails.
100%, but it's also the fact that you would very clearly know what project that you're going to be working with, especially when it comes to the developer that you're going to be working with as well.
Yeah, but
unless, of course, they're just going into generic recording booth or generic motion capture studio to work on generic character, and they don't know anything about it. But how then can they then get into the role, like the mind frame of the character, if they're being told nothing about the role? It's quite impossible.
Absolutely. And then Mike says Lara. Yes, exactly. And then it says, but it's like lately they don't even tell people what character. This is kind of my point. I kind of lost that point earlier. They don't even tell people what characters they are voicing, which is where I'm coming from. This is true. Three Dog, as I was talking about with the Fallout thing, he was the DJ in Fallout 3. They called him back for Fallout 4. As far as he knew, he was still being Three Dog, the DJ, but obviously that's 2 different timelines, so it didn't actually line up. So I do think that there needs to be a kind of more clarity involved with, okay, this is the game you're voicing, this is the character you're voicing, and here's the storyline.
I agree. I think now with a lot more Hollywood voice actors or a lot more Hollywood talent coming into play, that will be a lot more universal, because we knew off the back, and bringing up Cyberpunk again, we knew the minute Keanu Reeves was involved, we knew he was playing Johnny Silverhand.
Oh my
because it was revealed. So he would have gone into that booth knowing full well which character he was playing. and characters, actors like Daisy Ridley would have known exactly who she was voicing and acting in 12 minutes.
Right.
So it just, I think that's where the divide is that maybe the medium of video games and motion capture artistry work in previous years has not been quite up to the standard, but it will eventually come to that point, and it should come to that point.
Also, can I just say, Keanu Reeves really phoned it in during Cyberpunk. There are some lines where he's just like, oh, this is cool.
That's just Keanu Reeves.
I know he's not a great actor. I love him. I adore him. But he's not a good actor. And it really becomes
he is
evident
breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. Yes. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I am playing Cyberpunk and I think, wow, dude.
Anyway, should I just finish up the quotes from this story?
Oh, yes, do that.
So, it was also stated that, so one voice actor who wanted to remain anonymous told the BBC performance signed non-disclosure agreements but is still told almost nothing. Also recounted a situation where she signed up to record audio for a major game, only learned that she turned up for work that was for a full-on sex scene.
Yeah, so you need to be told that beforehand.
So, quote, I had to vocally match the scene, and through the glass in the booth was the entire team, all male, watching me. It was excruciating. At that stage, I had been in the games industry a while, and I'd never felt so shaken. What upset me so much about the situation that I was put on the spot, nobody thought to ask me if I was okay with it, and nobody checked to see if I was okay afterwards.
That's where you need an intimacy coach. I don't.
And this is where I'm coming down to it. So, Performing Arts Union Equity is demanding the games industry take action to improve by giving cast members a summary of the story, scene breakdown, and scripts in advance, allowing performers to request a closed set if needed, and hiring intimacy coordinators.
See? Okay, exactly. So I wasn't wrong.
So we nailed down onto the story whilst not actually getting to the end of the story, but we got there.
Yes. Well, I like what Mike says because I've seen this clip a million times. If you're a lover, you gotta be a fighter. Because if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? Right. Keanu Reeves, even he knew that was a bit cheesy, so he just went and then ran off stage. Keanu Reeves. I am so divided about him. He's not a great actor, but I think he's a great person.
He is.
Yeah. Terrible actor, especially in Cyberpunk. But
I mean, I'm not sure if I'd say he's a terrible actor. It's probably that he, as an actor, is not well fit for the role of.
Maybe that's it. Whoa, yeah. I do love Bill and Ted's.
The John Wick films are kind of shit.
No, I like them, but I do see them as just fun, as just frivolous fun.
They're just but they're not high art.
No, they never wanted to be. They never intended to be.
Yeah, exactly.
They try to be.
They know what they are.
Really?
No, I think they know very well what they are. And John Wick and John Wick 3 are very good. Good
John
entertainment.
Wick 1 is the only actually good story one. The rest are just bad.
This is okay. That checks notes. One good thing that the union is doing. Now they need to hammer out the AI stuff. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. That's a whole separate topic.
For quite a while.
I was going to say, we're going to have to do a show on that at some point.
Can I skip that week?
Yeah.
Because I think I'll upset a lot of people.
Oh my goodness.
We're going to have to replace you with an AI.
Yes. See if anyone actually notices.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we've programmed 207 episodes in at this point. I'm pretty sure there's enough ways to get through.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. But yes, Pete, do you have any more stories?
No, that's the last story. I thought I'd save it till last to bring the tone down.
Yes. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. But you should join us at www.twitch.tv/rapidreviews because we do an after show, which is so much fun. Because we get to drink and cuss and smoke and stuff. Not that I would smoke. I don't do that. But I do drink and cuss. But, yeah. So...
What's the difference between the show and the after show, then?
That's a good point.
Not a lot, actually.
I cuss less on the
cussing.
show. Exactly. Because if I cuss too much, it makes Pete have to do extra work.
Yeah, I've gotten to that point where I don't know if I really care anymore.
I freaking live in Ireland. They don't even... It's every word. Like little old ladies, little old precious ladies. They say the F word every 2 seconds. I love it. And
it's always amusing.
The older the lady, the worse it gets.
Yes!
Yeah, the more unhinged they get, the older
Exactly!
Because they just don't give a smack.
They do not care. Now, see...
Thanks, CD. Made my job so much easier with Smeg.
Mike has a good point. Now, Kylie said feck instead. Now, that is something that is definitely...
Never happening.
It's so common here. Feckless is the most common reference. Pete wouldn't have to edit it. It's true. I should really get used to saying feck. But...
You haven't actually slipped up in quite a while. To be
no, I've been
me.
trying to be very aware. But, as we start to close this episode out, I'm going to ask CD, where on the World Wide Web can we find you?
Well, once it's back on, I do a podcast with Reservaso, the Turn Based Cynics. And besides that, I am mainly on Twitter/X at ColdDeath.
Sweet. I probably should go follow you with my new Twitter. I'm
Good
never
idea.
on there. I'm never on Twitter. Pete, where else can I find you out in Never Neverland?
Can find me on Twitter. Usually running the Rapid Reviews Twitter handle.
Badly. I never check that, by the way. I never look that.
I'm also on the Never Watchers podcast, a film and TV related podcast where we cover all things film and TV.
That's true.
Still struggling with that Dune Part 2 episode, getting that out. Jesus Christ, that edit has been horrible.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm trying my best to get it out, but good luck. Yeah, I need it. But yeah, we should be back soon. We're having a lot of issues with our Twitter because for some reason Twitter doesn't believe our Twitter handle exists anymore. Because thanks.
Oh, wow.
Stupid butthead. So yeah, we're unfortunately that podcast is no longer on Twitter. We're finding alternative ways to get polls and stuff like that out there for next films.
Well, that's
but yeah, find us over there. Find me over there on the Never Watchers. It's most good podcast players and some bad too.
Very cool.
Kylie, where can they find you?
So, if you really, really just need all that Kylie content that you can handle, I don't know why you would. You can find me over on twitch.tv/KILEY_WILDE. I stream religiously Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock UK time. We have a great time. I have a great community that is starting to build up. And hopefully I'll reach affiliate at some point. It would be really nice. But I do sometimes do sneaky streams, as I call them, which would be like, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Whenever you feel like it.
Whenever I feel like it. For some reason, do not ask me why, but my Hitman streams have taken off, especially over on YouTube. Mm-hmm. I find this hilarious because I intentionally play Hitman bad. I do everything you're not supposed to do, and people love that.
That's probably a good reason for it.
I guess so. I'm just like, okay.
Have you thrown homing briefcases at people?
Yeah, exactly. My favorite thing to do is I grab a brick, and he's my pet brick. I call him Rick the Brick. And I just throw it at people. And sometimes I throw soda cans at people or soup cans, and they just go, ow. They don't die or anything. And we always manage to somehow get the kill in 5 minutes before I have to end the stream. I don't know how that keeps happening, but yay. So if you like being frustrated at people who play games very badly, join me on those too. But I'm also, I cannot believe this, but I am doing numbers over on YouTube. So just search Kiley Wilde and come follow me on YouTube. I don't understand it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then
all the links will be in the show notes for those audio and video watchers once this goes live, including CD.
Yay! But I'm also weirdly on TikTok, and that is doing numbers. I've never looked at a TikTok in my life. I've said this before. I have a friend that comes and visits me from Texas every few years, and she adores TikTok. It's way too loud, and she watches it, and she just laughs really loud, and it's all loud. I don't like loud things. So TikTok's never been a thing for me, but I've been posting to TikTok for the last month, and holy crap. It's like doing...
You're not doing TikTok dances, though, are you?
I know! It's mostly me just being dumb about games, and people love it. So I'm like, okay. And fingers crossed a Kiley-focused gaming chat episode. That would be amazing. I'm for that.
Only one person's allowed to do shameless self-promotion.
So, let's see. Whatever promoted. My Twitch, which is KLEY_WILDE. My YouTube, which is Kiley Wilde. My TikTok, which I think is KLEY_WILDE. If not, just search Kiley Wilde. And then I'm over on Instagram too now.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm like cool with the youth. I'm so hip and cool with the youth. But
thanks for giving me more links to find.
Yes,
Cheers
I know.
for this.
But
Give me more work.
I'm gonna be honest. My Instagram is gonna comprise of 3 things: video games, of course. So my reels are doing some really good numbers. My gym stuff, because I am a gym wanker, and that annoys people, so I leave it on Instagram. And because I am a cook, a professional chef, there's food stuff there too. So come follow me at Kiley Wilde on Instagram.
I would if Instagram wasn't a pile of shite.
It is a terrible pile of shite, but people like when I play games bad. So that's a thing that exists. But I think that's all my shameless self-promotion.
Yep. Let's go.
So, I think I'll end this episode, but please do stick around at twitch.tv/rapidreviews for our after show where we get a little naughty. So, I want to thank everyone who has listened and watched. You guys are amazing. You make it worth doing this every week. Pete and I do this with no, like, we put our own money into it. We don't make anything off of this.
No, this isn't a way to introduce Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. It actually cost us money to make this podcast. But we do appreciate and thank every single one of you for joining us when you do join us.
Thank you. And yeah, thanks, CD, for coming on this week.
Yes!
It's been a pleasure having you.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, always. But I think that's going to do it for us, Pete. So, we will see you and talk to you next week.
Ciao.
Thus ends the podcast portion. Now we can just talk and smoke and drink and stuff. While Pete does his edits. Also, I want to thank ColdDeath for following us.
Yeah. Who has magically just pulled out a bottle from the middle of Mordor.
That also disappears when he drinks it.
Did he pull it out of Sauron's anus?
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? No, let's not imagine.
No, I'm pretty sure they want to do that on the Rings of Power.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Rings of Power.
Rings of Power is pulling lots of stuff out of something's anus.
See,
yeah, and it's not pulling out of Tolkien's lore.
I just don't like they had such a good premise and they just ruined it. Like,
yeah, of course they had a great premise. They had the fucking Silmarillion.
Exactly, and then they just messed it up, and I'm just like, I hate you.
They had the Silmarillion, but thanks to the authors, they only had the.
Unbelievable. It just like, it's kind of like also House of Dragon. I've stopped watching them.
I keep hearing good things about House of Dragon, but I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, so
I can't hang with it. I tried. I really did try, because I do love Game of Thrones, except for, again, if we're talking about the TV show, except for the last 2 seasons. I tried to hang with it. It's not. It's just not keeping me. There's a lot of, like, what is it? Suspension of belief or
suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, you have to do, and I'm just not. And then they try to shove characters at you that you should care about. They want you to hurry up and care about them so that they can, kill them off or whatever. It's just like, I don't care about this character. You've done nothing, to show me that this character is worth caring about. So, with that said, I'm
Sounds
back.
like every TV show I've watched recently.
Exactly, except I'm back to watching 2 shows.
Oh, God,
Futurama and Hannibal.
Oh, of course you're back watching fucking Hannibal again.
Every time I have a bad breakup, I go to Hannibal. I don't know why, but I do.
Because you clearly want to eat that ex-spouse.
No, and not spouse you.
I don't care. I understand it.
Yes, no, I really just love him. It's so, like, people don't understand. After the first season's very formulaic. It's very your usual crime drama, blah blah blah. But then 2 and 3, they gave the guy that was head of it, Brian Fulcher, I think his name. They just gave him like an unlimited budget, and he just went artistic with it. And it's like, I'm there. I'm so there. It's very abstract, very artistic, very interpretive. It's not your Law and Order formulaic type thing.
Not your crime scene of the week or monster of the week kind of show.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what it started out as. The first season is absolutely the quote monster of the week style. But they gave him more money and they let him explore some stuff, and that
is
speaks
exactly what it should have fucking been with
it
a Hannibal prequel TV series.
Exactly. So that really speaks to the artist inside of me. And then a Futurama just speaks to the 12-year-old inside of me that I should probably let out at some point.
I still need to watch the next couple of episodes of the new season,
so
I've not watched them yet.
Pete, here's the thing. We briefly talked about this. I'm going to
watch them after the show.
I know honestly. We personally talked about it. I don't remember if it made the show or not. The new Futurama.
Always the after show.
The new Futurama episodes are very weirdly dated.
Yeah, we spoke about this with the first episode, how it was about fucking cryptocurrency and Bitcoin mining and NFT. Sorry, that was it, and it felt 2 years out of date.
And guess what? The second episode's about. It's about, what was that? It was a Korean show about the game show.
Oh, Squid Games.
Squid Games. That's it. Yeah, it's about Squid Games.
Oh, Christ.
Sounds like the scripts for the episodes have been in the works for a while.
Yes, exactly. Exactly that. Yeah, Mike says the birthday party. Exactly. It's based on Squid Games. It's so odd. And Billy West, who voices Fry among many other characters, he's aging, and you can hear it in his voice. And they try to modulate it, and it's just...
At some point, that's bound to happen.
Yeah, so I feel kind of bad about that, but I'm not gonna lie, Futurama is my comfort. So is Hannibal. Hannibal's my comfort series. I just love knife play, apparently. And blood.
Your comfort food.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, the fact that there's a Hannibal fucking cookbook.
I have it.
Volumes.
Pete, I have it.
Of course there is.
I bought it. I bought it. It's amazing. There's even a recipe where you make like, let's say it's a like it's not a cottage pie, but it's like a chicken pot pie, but the crust is the Hannibal mask.
Oh my god. I mean, did they call it chicken pot belly pie?
I honestly can't remember. But see, this is the thing. And I said this for years because if anyone who's been following the show knows, this is my 7th rewatch of Hannibal, the TV series. It's actually a black comedy. It's very funny. But you have to get past all the other stuff, and then you see the comedy underneath it. And I love it. I'm messed up. Oh, goodness.
Wow, I've only just figured this out after 207 episodes.
Yeah, I'm slightly crazy. Nana says it's too funny to make a clip. I cannot wait to see that. And of course, I came back to loves knife play. Lol. Kind of like Famous Times.
Sadie, run away. It never gets better, honestly. It only gets more degenerate as we go on.
I think that I am fun and witty.
And anyone who disagrees gets the knife.
That's exactly it. Maybe slightly dangerous.
The life of the wife was ended by the
Oh,
knife.
goodness.
I wonder if she likes Wolverine.
Oh, I love Wolverine.
Or Deadpool.
Oh,
It's just sorted up.
I mean, Wolverine comes
swords
with
are just
knives
large.
integrated.
That's right.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, she loves Deadpool. And,
I do love Deadpool.
and swords are just large knives.
That's true. Swords are just large knives.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
but
heard
I
it
don't
differently.
think she appreciated the way they did it in Origin.
Oh my goodness. I was so
Best-
angry.
Best Deadpool interpretation ever.
I was so angry when Origins came out. I
Pete,
remember.
run.
Yeah.
No,
I
it
was
was the
like,
best one because it took away the one
No!
characteristic I fucking
No!
hate about Deadpool.
Deadpool is the merc with the mouth, and they sewed his mouth shut. What? What were they thinking?
And they gave him fucking stupid knife.
Yes! Oh, I just
Yeah, that
hate
was
it.
fucking dumb.
I hate it.
But I honestly just went fishing and caught a big one there.
Oh my gosh, yes, you baited me quite well. Yes, Nana says, yanderis. Hey, I started out as a tsundere. But...
What the...
Because when I used to, long ago, because I'm old now, long ago, when I used to like a guy, I would be mean to him. And I found out that was a tsundere.
Great mean. Keep them clean.
Exactly! And then for some reason that didn't work. I can't imagine why.
Weird.
Weird. Being mean to guys doesn't make them fall in love with you. Oh.
Pretty sure I saw that in kids shows all the time. Hey Arnold.
Yeah, exactly! I was, what's her face? With the
Helga.
blonde hair. Helga. Yes, I was 100% Helga in school.
I hate him. I love him. I hate him.
Exactly.
I hate him.
Exactly. Then it says, I wonder why that didn't work. Yeah, I had to grow up to find out, oh, don't be mean to them. They might think you not like them.
Real life might not work completely like the series and the Saturday morning cartoons. It's a shocker, I know.
I know! That was my Bible, Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, it was a shock to find out that guys wanted to be treated nice. Well, certain guys. Some guys enjoy being treated like crap, and I don't stick around
yeah,
with that.
there's
Females do
that,
too.
and there's a kid
Yeah.
for everyone.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
such as knife play.
Knife play is not about being mean, Pete.
No, it's about being savage.
I'm only saying that because the Doki Doki Literature Club, the part we're on, is one of the girls likes knife play, and I have had to explore that. It's very interesting. Can't say it's my... I do love knives. Like, in Texas, we have what's called flea markets. I don't know if there's an equivalent in Europe.
Car boot sales.
Maybe that. I think that's probably the closest thing. And, like, sometimes they would have, like, they would sell weapons, like science fiction weapons and stuff like that. So you'd have the what is it? It's not Romulan. What's the other one? The
Klingon?
Yes, Klingon. The pizza cutter thing. Bailiff?
Batleth.
That's it.
Batleth.
Batleth. Okay. So they'd have stuff like that, and they would have certain, knives that you would recognize and stuff like that. And that was really cool. They had the McLeod sword, which, if people don't know, my real name is McLeod, so I would buy that.
The real test is, does it make shing when you take it out and move it?
Exactly! So we had access to all that stuff and really cool blades and stuff. So I do like knives. But as we're exploring over in Doki Doki Literature Club, it's a little bit different. They're more into what I would call blood play, which is a bit different. I can't say that's quite my thing, although I do fancy myself as a vampire, but that might be pushing it a little bit.
It's a bit different, a little bit of a different.
Yeah, exactly. And then, let's see, Nana says,
Kylie McLeod of the Clan McLeod.
Exactly! I love Highlander. When I was little, oh my gosh, I just was like, I am part of the Clan McLeod. I'm going to be an immortal. Some people would say that I am immortal, but yeah, so that was like I loved Highlander. And now they're doing a new Highlander with Tom Hardy, so that will be interesting to watch. I'm keen. I'm open to it. Nana says, how did we circle back to knife play? Yeah, I know. Nana says, I like swords, but that's because I like action games and 3D modeling. I would never buy one unless it's for work or something. Now, here's an interesting thing. So I went to, like, MCM Comic Con, which was over here in Belfast. We only had, like, one. And then they quit coming here. And I hadn't realized, I'd never thought about it, but the sword in Game of Thrones, because I love Brienne, so the sword that Jaime gives her is Oathkeeper, sorry. The sword in what's it called? Where Final Fantasy and Mickey Mouse combined. Kingdom Hearts.
The Keyblades.
The Keyblades is Oathkeeper. And so, like, I took a picture of holding both Oathkeepers, which was really cool. And I was like, I like this. This is cool. So I did buy the Game of Thrones Oathkeeper. I'm not going to lie. So I have the McLeod sword and Oathkeeper because I am a nerd. But, yes. And then, Nana says, even then, I would just buy a small foam one. Yes, they do sell foam versions, which is actually kind of cool. Probably safer. I have a tendency to buy the real deal. Yeah, and then Yuri is the most mentally deranged of the girls in that game. Yes, so Nana follows along over on our Doki Doki Literature Club episodes. I am learning quite a bit. Quite a bit. There's a whole new world there that I don't understand.
So, did I understand you correctly before that their attempt to do an MCM Comic Con in Belfast bombed?
It absolutely bombed. It was terrible.
That's ironic.
They did it I think they did it 2 years. Yeah, I know. It just... Oh, I'm very slow. I just
honest.
got
Took a bit.
Oh.
Someone clip that. That was perfect. Hello, Brent. Good of you to join us.
Howdy, Brent.
Oh, that was great. That was absolutely
you've walked
perfect.
into utter chaos, Brent.
Of course. Of course. Nana was to say, yes, I was going to say Oathkeeper means a different thing to me than it does to normal people. Exactly. I did, when Kingdom Hearts first came out, now again, this was many years ago, so Nana might not have even been born yet. That's how old I am. But I absolutely adored Kingdom Hearts, the first one, absolutely. And then it just started to branch off in weird stuff, and I couldn't quite follow it. But that was back when I played well, I loved Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 7, 8, I didn't like 9, 10, and 10X, or X, whatever. Those I lived and breathed and died for. But then I got older and I didn't like JRPGs as much. It's a very strange thing. Your taste kind of changed, I think. Or it was just me. I just outgrew JRPGs. It's very strange. But I have very fond memories of Kingdom Hearts and also Final Fantasy as well. But I have not really enjoyed the new iterations at all. And then Pete's not the biggest fan of Rebirth.
Pile of shit. Pile of shit.
Oh, goodness. Brent says, I
hate that fucking game.
Yes. Brent says, I am good. Just got back from gaming at my local game store. My leg feels good today as well. Oh, very good, Brent. Very
Amazing.
good.
What was you playing?
Yeah. Because Brent's been playing a lot of tabletop games. It's been quite an adventure. I used to play, this is not a joke, there was an X-Men tabletop game. A little
nice.
Dungeon and Dragons, Creature of the Week, Monster of the Week, X-Men. And I loved it. I just freaking...
We present X and Men.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie. Watching Deadpool 3 really brought back a lot of memories. I didn't realize that I really lost myself in comic books at that time. Because, I mean, the truth was, and I'm very open and honest about this on the show, I'm a very lonely person. I do not make friends very well. Put me in a school environment, I make friends even less than I did now. Oh my gosh. And so I just lost myself in D&D books, the X-Men comics, and basically any sci-fi fantasy I could get my hands on. And stuff, because it was not a good existence. And then, of course, it took 20 years after that to find out that I have Asperger's, and that's why. Suddenly it all made sense. I have a condition that doesn't let me socialize with people. Let's see. Brent says, Sunday is exclusively Thunderstone Quest. We are doing a campaign. We are one scenario from completing Quest 2. Very cool. Mike says, well, it's time for me to clock off. Oh, Mike. Good night. I'll catch you next week. Yes.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mike. It was great having you here. You are amazing. Dennis says, it took me a minute to realize what was going on. I can't wait to watch that. Kylie, don't worry. It took me until uni to make any friends. I just can't make friends. I literally can't. Yes, I'm not going to lie. When me and Max were going out, I finally made friends. But now I don't have any friends again. So I'm trying to... No, I'm not trying. Why am I lying? I'm not trying. I just don't connect with people. I really don't. Unless they're nerds, they have to be nerds. And the only places I go to is the gym. That's it. I don't do anything else. Everything I do, I work from home. And at the gym where I go to, there's not a lot of nerds there. They're a different breed of people there. Some would call them meatheads, but yes.
It's all right. Don't worry. Later on in the year, you will find some very nerdy people.
I hope so, Pete.
Yes.
Yes, and good night to Mike. Yeah, that's why I do actually enjoy conventions and stuff, because I'm weirdly like, I'm not asocial, as they say. I'm not asocial when it comes to nerds. That's the best way I can say it. I'm asocial when it comes to the normal people. So I really do enjoy
You're nerd social.
Yeah, I'm nerd social. That's it. I like that. Nana says, absolutely the same. Yeah, I know. I think it's the neurodivergence, I think. Because I'm not going to lie. I talk about this a lot. I talk about this on my show, and I talk about it over here. I can't relate to people. They start talking about stuff.
Human things.
Like, yeah, human things, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm bored now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of the same myself.
Yeah. I think that's why you get along, Pete.
Kind of.
Which I never want that to come across as I'm like putting down normal humans. I'm not. Absolutely not.
I am a normal human, and I'm putting it down.
I just can't relate. I want to talk about like boring stuff like spreadsheets and NASA and video games and stuff like that. And philosophy. Philosophy is one of my favorite subjects. Oh my gosh, you can see people's eyes. They just glaze over.
Putting comics in chronological order.
Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. Now that is a wild Friday night for me.
There's not 444 video game consoles in their RGB setups.
Oh
or
my
their
goodness.
HDMI setups.
HDMI, that's it. Yeah, that's a step. See, because here's the thing. There's no practicality to it, Pete. Why would you do that? Why would you hook up that many consoles?
Because you never know what you want to play and when.
No, just get one console and play a bunch of ROMs on it.
You would just get the Retron 5 or whatever the current one is.
True.
I think it's
and
5.
There we go.
Exactly that. It's way more practical. Less wires.
Oh, I know it is. Oh, I get it.
Although,
I'm in total agreement.
I have to say, let's see, Nana says, for me, it's cycling and management games, and anime and manga. Oh my goodness. I've got so much story.
Well, yeah, I know everyone glazes over the minute I mention fighting games. So it's just like, yeah, cool. God, and online netcodes. Jesus, Kylie, we'll go over this again when you fucking cut down my article about how netcodes work.
Okay, there's a story.
Fuck you.
No, there's a story behind this. So, me, Kieran, Pete, and Brent, we all played Back for Blood, and we had to
write... When it was in beta.
Yeah, when it was in beta, and we had to write a review for it. Now, Pete wrote...
Well, preview. It wasn't a review.
Oh, I guess it was a preview. Yeah, good point. It was a preview. Pete wrote this wonderful section about netcode, and it did teach me a lot, but it was like 3 pages worth.
I mean, yeah, admittedly it was long, but how do you explain netcode?
So,
it's quite difficult.
So essentially, when Pete starts about rollback netcode,
yes, that
with Kylie, what rolls back are her eyes.
Yeah, rollback netcodes requires rollback eyes.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Brent says that seems like so long ago. I know it really does.
And yet it's still fresh in my memory.
But Kieran and I, we
You
spent...
just need to roll back your memory a few times.
There you go. But Kieran and I spent hours because we had to cut it down. And I hated it, but we had to cut out Pete's, like, whole net... I hated it!
You cut out the heart of that fucking whole section.
It was like, it needed its whole separate article because it was so well written and so well done. But it was like 3 pages long. But
got writing about
just that. Whew, yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's probably rightly so. I admit it, but it was just like.
But I did learn. I learned about
netcode. You
netcode.
fucking savaged the shit out of how a netcode works.
It's true.
It was like, so this is how it works. Boom. That
yes.
big.
But hey, we cut all of my stuff down to 1 paragraph.
No, you fucking didn't. You had a longer section.
I didn't have a longer section. I think Kieran had the longest section.
Oh yeah, he might have done.
Yeah.
But wasn't that because him and Brent were generally talking about the actual mechanics of the game?
Yeah, they were actually talking about the game. And at that time...
Imagine that, in the preview play, talking about the game.
I know, right?
Yes, but bearing in mind that the vast majority of that component was going to be online, and that was the appeal of it, I would have thought the netcode would have had a good section in it, which is what I was aiming for.
And also, I kind of just let Kieran do whatever he wanted back then.
Well, gee, I wonder why.
I know.
It seems to be the theme of this is, oh, someone flutters their eyes at me. It's like, okay, you can do that.
Be nice to me and I'll do whatever you want. But it ended up being a really great article. And I did learn a lot
With
about...
some exceptions.
just not as far as the bit of stabby.
Yes.
I mean, the stabby comes if you don't let her do what
There you go. That's right. I'm so gonna watch
There's a
Hannibal
reason why they
tonight.
call her knifey wifey.
Can you imagine me as a wife? That would be so weird.
No.
I know.
No,
That's
I could
weird.
not.
That would be weird. Yes, but I'm probably gonna watch Hannibal after this.
Of course you are.
You're in the mood.
I know, I am. I just started season 2. But it is really good. Like, I'm being legitimate here. If you like arty farty stuff, and I realize that's not everybody's cup of tea, I really do. And I do realize that I'm very, like, abstract and into art and all that kind of stuff. It is a good series. Like, every time I watch it, and like I said, I'm on the 7th rewatch, I find something new. There's, like, a little, like, nugget of coolness or whatever. It's really cool. And if you like psychology, which I absolutely adore, it's very cool. Because I'm learning about narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths and all this kind of stuff. It's constantly changing. I'm sorry, I'm going to get boring for a second. It's constantly changing the meaning of what those things are. Because there's this thing called the DSM, which is where all of the, like, mental disorders are listed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they revise it every few years. And so now they've revised it again. And so...
Yeah, some time ago they did something about video game addiction, stuff
yes,
like that.
Exactly that. And then they've added, like, they've added and taken away, like, what constitutes... Like, there's no such thing as a sociopath anymore. They've wiped that out. That's not a thing. There's a psychopath, there's an antisocial personality, there's a narcissist, borderline personality disorder, and then something called histrionic personality disorder, which they are about to wipe out and then they're going to smush that into narcissist. I'm fascinated by that because...
Yeah, it's a complicated topic.
It is. And the human brain is fascinating to me. Like, there are people... It's very hard for me to relate to this. I'm sorry, we're getting deep. But there are people who only think about themselves. Like, they never think about other people. They don't have empathy. For me, who has hyper empathy, it's very difficult for me to relate to someone who doesn't have empathy. And it's not a bad thing to not have empathy. It just means you're a bit different.
It can be bad depending on your other personality traits,
yes.
But on its own, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's absolutely shocking to me because I'm hyper empathy. So I feel like I can put myself in somebody's shoes like that. Like, oh gosh, okay, oh, that's a terrible thing that's happened to them. Or if like there's a guy that I take care of, like physically, and because he's very disabled and he has a disease, a chronic disease, and sometimes he'll cry out in pain, and it's like I can feel that inside of me, and I thought that was normal. Actually, that's not entirely normal. So people without empathy, which it seems to be 50-50 now, people without empathy versus people who have empathy, they literally, like, you can go, hey, don't do that thing, it hurts me, and they go, what?
Yeah, no.
Yeah! And I'm just like, I'm absolutely fascinated by that right now. That's my current, like, wow. Because it's so natural for me to put myself in someone else's shoes. It's unbelievable to think that there are people who cannot do that. I'm fascinated by that. And then the fact that they say that...
And now there's the challenge of putting yourself into the shoes of someone who can't put themselves into someone else's shoe.
Exactly! It's just
that's
all
a challenge.
the way down.
That is quite the challenge.
Yeah, so I try to do that. It's crazy. And then, of course... a lot of people out there listening probably know Asperger's used to be its own thing. I still 100% believe it's its own thing. It's not autism. But they've shoved it, the Americans have shoved it into autism, ASD. Rest of the world hasn't. But a lot of the misnomers or the misreading or whatever they used to believe that people with Asperger's didn't have empathy. And they come to find out, they're like, oh, no, we're wrong. They have ultra hyper empathy. That's why they shut down, because they can feel everything. And it's 100% true. It's just so weird to me how 8 billion people on the planet, and we all have different, like, outlooks, if that makes sense.
So many differences, yeah.
It's shocking, but I'm fascinated by it, and that's my current kind of, like, favorite topic. Which is very boring, but... Yeah, yes, exactly. That's my current special interest, is trying to understand. I'm trying to understand narcissists more than anything, because they're more prevalent than people realize. I just am like, how do you spend 24/7 thinking about yourself? But it's a well-known thing, and it just absolutely blows my mind. But. And then that special interest will die off, and I'll be back into dinosaurs, so... I do love me some dinosaurs. Not gonna lie about that.
Maybe you'll do a rewatch of Dino Riders or something.
Dino Riders!
No.
I love it so much! Oh my gosh. And then there was an American cartoon, and I don't think it made it over here, because it was only like 2 seasons. It's called Dino Saucers. It was amazing. They were dinosaurs from outer space, and they landed on Earth, so that they.
Of course they did.
Oh, of course they did. Obviously, that's what this is about. But they could talk. They spoke. They talked, and they wore armor, which is weird. Now I think about it. But anyway, and then they had like the good dinosaurs versus the bad dinosaurs. Now the good dinosaur was led by an Allosaurus and a Brontosaurus. And then the bad dinosaurs were led by a Tyrannosaurus and a version of raptor, but back then they didn't call them raptors. And
we actually had that for us. It was called the Astrodinos.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy! Oh, I love that show.
It took a few years though. It was originally from '87.
Oh my gosh!
It came out in '92.
Oh right, okay. Which would be when I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which, interestingly, for our American listeners, and I say this every time, here in the UK, I don't know about the rest of Europe, but in UK, they were called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Hero Turtles, yeah. Because we just had the same version.
And Michelangelo...
Pile of fucking shit.
Michelangelo couldn't be shown with his nunchucks.
Yep.
But Donatello could have his swords.
Yes, he could. It made no
Leonardo.
Leonardo, okay. Sorry, he had the staff. Yes, you're correct. You're correct. You're correct.
Regardless, it still made no fucking sense.
It didn't.
Shit.
Yeah, cartoon censorship never made much sense.
No, absolutely not. That's so funny. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
I mean, that was pretty much the same reason why they toned down the second movie.
Oh my goodness. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. I was so into that, yeah.
Talk about the vanilla movie.
Oh my goodness.
Still, it's not worse than the third one. The third one is absolutely abjectly awful.
I've seen the third one maybe twice. I couldn't make it through it.
And it has probably one of the cringiest lines of all time in film. Where one of them gets on their back and it says, "Help, I'm a turtle, I can't get up."
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I freaking love this.
It's fucking cringe as fuck.
Well, it was very weird to me because, at least in the US version of the cartoon, Shredder, who I had a weird affinity for, I felt bad for Shredder.
Because of course you did.
I know! What is wrong with me, Pete? I keep choosing just terrible people.
Knives.
It could be because he had his 2 knives.
That's what I'm saying, it comes back to the knives.
Maybe I'm really into knife play after all. What's wrong with me? But, so I had an affinity for him and Raphael because he was so angry. But then I found out I do. You know I love me some brooding. But I found out that Shredder was voiced by Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, for
Yep.
I was like, what?
So what you're saying is they exist in a parallel universe.
I was absolutely floored by that. I was just like, what? Yes, that's exactly it. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll watch the X-Men.
Maybe I'll watch Fresh Prince.
There you go.
Have you watched the 2003 series for Turtles?
I haven't. I saw some clips of it. It did actually look pretty cool, but I have not sat and watched it.
Really
Is it okay?
Good.
Yeah.
They recommend.
Well, our former co-host Kieran, he also recommended it, so I think I probably will watch it. I absolutely adored the Turtles back then. It's so weird. Like, I know I'm on a soapbox again. Just, I don't care. But it's so weird because growing up in the late 80s through the 90s and the early 2000s, stuff, yes, there was boy and girl toys and shows. Okay, fine, you could say that. But everyone watched, at least in America, everyone watched the same thing. Like, we all watched Care Bears, we all watched My Little Pony, we all watched He-Man, we all watched Spider-Man, we all, you know, it was like, there was no delineation.
Up to a certain age, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's because it did kind of start to delineate probably about 10 or 11 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, with puberty, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember watching, like He-Man and wanting... God, I really am messed up. The chick...
I mean, back then, I think I even watched She-Ra and...
Oh, She-Ra was great!
I kind of liked it more, I don't know why.
I liked She-Ra, it was very good, but I did more identify with Skeletor's female. I forgot her name. I wanted to be her. But it was very strange because we watched all of those. And then, like, the Super Mario Hour... Power Hour.
Super Show.
Oh, Super Show, that's it. Oh my gosh, I loved
with the what was it? I think he was a wrestler, one of the
yes, he was
actors.
Just blanked out on his name, and I had it right at the top. Yes, he was a wrestler, and he always had rubber bands in his beard.
Good God.
Yeah, but they would show, like, on Fridays, they would show Zelda.
Lou Albano.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Okay.
And I absolutely adored that version of Zelda. I'm not gonna lie.
Excuse me, princess.
Oh my God, it's so great.
So much. I did absolutely adore that.
That is the twinkiest.
I mean, it's definitely better than the 3DO Zelda.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I was glad that she got to be the kind of like heroine, but holy crap!
You killed me.
Yes.
Good.
Exactly.
No.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. We had some gems growing up. We did.
We did.
Oh my goodness.
And we also had Gem.
Yes. Oh my. Now, no lie for our dear listeners and well, I guess we just have watchers at this point. The
watchers, yeah.
So I've always been tall. Like forever, I've been tall. I came out the womb tall. So when Jim, so everybody, all the girls love Barbie, obviously. But then Jim dropped, and she was way bigger than Barbie. I was like, oh, finally, tall girls. So I absolutely adore Jim. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I really love those cartoons. I need to go have a trip down YouTube.
Surprisingly, the Misfits songs aren't even that bad.
No, they're not. It's so funny that they were called the Misfits because, I mean, Misfits was actually, obviously Danzig and all that stuff. But I always did like the Misfits a little bit better. See, I keep identifying with the bad girls. What is wrong with me?
Back then, they still could do good bad guys.
Yeah. Well, see, I actually talked about this before. So, like, when we were growing up, it was very delineated who's bad, who's good. Bad, good, bad, good. There was no kind of gray area. Now, if you read the X-Men comics, you could kind of start to see gray areas with Magneto. He kind of had one foot in one world, one foot in the other. And that kind of translated to the cartoon as well. But then, with the advent of, like, Game of Thrones and that whole era, the gray hero or gray villain.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
Over time, it just meshed into gray. Every bad guy had to have some sympathy line for him. It had to be something like that. The heroes couldn't just be perfect heroes. They had to have their weaknesses or whatever, and it just...
Exactly! It's like we had to have a flawed hero and a bad guy that we feel sorry for. Like, there's...
in principle, that's fine, but... It's just too much.
It is.
They just do it too often.
That was really it.
Completely relaced it.
That's the thing. It became there was a series in America. You guys over here probably had it, but it's called Once Upon a Time. And it was kind of like a retelling because Disney owned the property. It was kind of like a retelling of all the various Disney properties or whatever, but in like a real.
I've heard of it.
Thing. Yeah. All it does is explore the gray areas. None of the bad guys are completely bad, and none of the good guys are completely good. They even portray Rumpelstiltskin as this like pity character.
Of course.
I know exactly. Actually, here's what they do. They combine.
No one knows my name. I can't remember my name.
I'm so tortured. They combined Rumpelstiltskin with Beauty and the Beast, and they turned Rumpelstiltskin in kind of to the Beast, so they kind of merged the stories.
Beast.
He really was a beast. But that was where I first really, really noticed it, and then I saw Game of Thrones starting to do it. But to be fair, he had written that in the book. I mean, that was his whole. That's the whole series is based on that. That's the whole
thing about
Yeah, and you would start to see this more and more. And I'm not saying that it doesn't have its place. Yes, the hero can be flawed. Not should be, but can be flawed. And yes, the bad guy can be sympathetic. Maleficent, that movie came out. And I don't think... I mean, I think it has its place, but it's overdone. I want a clear good and bad guy. I want to root for the good guy and hate the bad guy. And...
The gray areas have just as much a place as the black and white.
Yeah. But that's the thing, exactly. So gray areas have come up here, and the black and white has come here. And it's like, can we just, especially with like superhero movies. And then I say that, and yet Deadpool, who's probably the most gray area character anti-hero
he's just chaotic.
Yeah, he's just chaotic in the center.
Chaotic.
Yeah. There's no chaotic good or evil. He's just right in the center, just pure chaos. Depends on what day of the week. Maybe he's chaotic good. Maybe he's chaotic evil. Just depends.
They call it chaotic neutral, don't they?
Chaotic neutral. That's it. Yeah, right smack dab in the middle. But I'm always looking for. Well, that's the thing. Like, I can't get into Rings of Power. I tried that. House of the Dragon, like I said, I tried that. First season was good, but I've fallen off on this next season. Not to bring it up and belabor the point, but Hannibal has a clear-cut bad guy. Now, do you feel sympathy for the bad guy? Yes, but that's because you're messed up. They make it very clear he's a bad guy. Nana says, I feel that will not happen until stuff like The Boy... Oh, that's a good... Nana's pulled up a great one. The Boy stopped selling. Yes, that's another based on a comic book of just gray area. Just 100% gray area.
The art style in The Boys is absolutely fucking awful in the comics as well. It looks like trash.
Well, that's why I prefer Preacher. Everyone should go watch Preacher and read Preacher. It's by the same team that did The Boys, but it's very cool.
In terms of series that I tend to rewatch, I am similar to you with Hannibal. I am
Yeah.
that way with things like Babylon 5,
Oh,
Columbo.
yes. Oh, I love Columbo!
Um,
Oh, I love Columbo. One more thing.
mhm.
I do. I love that. Absolutely. But I used to really, really be into, it's not a joke, Law and Order. I know it's formulaic, but there's kind of a comfort in the formulaic kind of setup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Comfort food.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not something that I sit there and I think about and have, like, deep, philosophical discussions.
Yeah, you might have it playing on the side and whatever, do your things.
Exactly that. It is. It's just a comfort or whatever, but I do love Columbo. Absolutely. And then, no, I was gonna mention some other stuff, but right now I'm honestly, I'm just stuck on Futurama, and I don't know why, because I have not particularly enjoyed the new episodes. As I was telling Pete, they're very dated. They're almost 2 or 3 years behind. Nana says, I understand that, Kylie. My dad loves crime shows. I do.
Yeah. My dad loves a crime procedural.
Yes. It depends, though, because, like, and in the U.S., we have so many to choose from. We have, like, NCIS and CSI and whatever an acronym you can come up with. But, I'll tell you what I started watching. It's an old series. Not that old, but pretty old. That's Lucifer. Now, Lucifer is interesting because it's actually based on a Neil Gaiman property.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. And I started watching it, and it's cheesy. It's cheesy. Let's admit it's cheesy. But there is something very kind of like, I'm kind of like, okay, it's a crime drama, but it's got, fantasy elements to it. So I'm kind of digging it. Yeah. Now it says CSI, NCIS, Law and Order. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I need to continue Lucifer. I watched the first season of that so
Yeah.
far. It's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a deep thinker. It's not, anything. But I'm kind of enjoying it. And I think I'm only in the first season as well. So that, I'm trying to think. There's another thing that I started watching, but I've just totally blinked out. Let's see. Preacher.
While you think on that, I am also, obviously, I need to mention this as a rewatch, as always, Red Dwarf.
Ooh, always.
For you, yes.
Always.
It's always a thing.
Absolutely. I have said this before. I know I'm just talking like crazy, but I drank a lot of wine. But in America, in the U.S., when I was growing up, we only got The Young Ones, Are You Being Served, Mr. Bean, and Red Dwarf. I would stay up every night and watch those. And then when I was about 16 or 17, we got what was called BBC America, which is when we started to get a lot of European shows, a bunch of them, which was really cool. But Red Dwarf always was a mainstay.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Yeah. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they really explored a lot of topics. They did it really well. They just really did. I did enjoy that very, very, very much. Trying to think.
That was the adventure. They had the comedy, and then they could do stuff with that.
Yes, well,
really well.
I think that was kind of like my first exposure to that, where you'd be laughing 1 second, and then they would just say something really deep, like just be like, and you'd be like, oh wow, yeah, wow. You know, and I still to this day love that. If you can like blend comedy with deep thinking, I'm like, boom, absolutely there. I'm trying to think, but that does tend to be more. That's kind of almost a British thing, actually. Pete, would you agree with that?
What's that? Sorry.
The kind of comedy that then kind of goes to a more dramatic type moment.
Almost serious things.
Yeah, almost serious, and then back to comedy.
Yeah, I would say it's a very self-deprecating sort of twist in humour that British people tend to do quite well. Like they can take something very dramatic to then turn it into something quite ludicrous and ridiculous.
Over the top. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's kind of like how you have a passing and then you just make a really obscure joke like during the middle of a funeral or something. Which is why Death at a Funeral is something that actually exists, and the Americans had to remake it.
Yeah.
Dirty bastards.
Like they tried to make their own Red Dwarf version.
Oh, it was terrible! Oh my gosh!
Bad.
We have tried to copy so much British stuff, and it is just bombed. It is absolutely bombed.
The In-Betweeners.
Oh, it was terrible. In-Betweeners was terrible.
The IT Crowd.
IT Crowd was terrible. Absolutely fabulous.
Shameless.
Men Behaving Badly. I think
oh my god.
that was the only one that got a little bit successful and then just died. And then Shameless actually did really well.
I know it did, but it was just not even the same.
No,
show.
it's not exactly. Oh, The Office, obviously. Which I've
literally the first season is crap because it is just a carbon copy of the British show, and then they went off in their own direction and made it good.
I have since found out that lots of countries have their version of The Office.
And they're making a remake of The Office.
See,
or making a new show in The Office or universe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
Is there a German version of The Office? I watched a scene from an Indian version.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was insane.
I dare not saying anything for risk of cancellation.
It was wild, I'll put it that way. But I will tell you this, and I said this last week. I have
we did kind of have
a version. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because there's like a bunch of iterations of it.
There's loads, yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But I started watching Bottom again. Because we talked about it last week.
Because of course you did.
I said, I love Bottom. I'm sorry, I do. If you're an American and you can get your hands on Bottom.
You love Knives and Bottom.
Knives and Rick Mayhall.
Said nobody ever.
Yeah, literally. Literally. Yeah, if you're an American and you get your hands on Bottom, wow, I said those words. I would definitely encourage you to do that. It is so funny. It's a very good blend of slapstick humor, which I absolutely love. I am a sucker for slapstick humor. But also, like, double entendres and puns and wordplay. I just love it. Give me all the puns! Which is, I'm not going to lie, I prefer the British first season of The Office over the American one. Because it's so cringy. And I just love cringy. Just make it cringy. And I'm like,
I think the Brits do cringe humour better than the Americans.
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
The In-Betweeners works really well. When it gets cringy, it gets really cringy.
I just love that. I just love watching people be uncomfortable. Which is a weird thing. But it's true. But I never really got into the In-Betweeners, but the American version is terrible. It's...
Surprise.
Fucking piece of shit.
Oh, that's awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah, but probably when we shut this down here in a little bit, because we're over 3 hours.
We probably should, yeah.
Yeah. Poor CD
Jesus Christ, CD, it's like nearly fucking midnight for you. My God. Let me preface this by saying, when I messaged CD said to come on the show, I did say, there is an after show. You don't have to stay for it.
Yes! It's the part where Kylie gets drunk and just talks. I just knocked my lights down again.
Face.
I cannot believe I did that twice.
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 Apparently you do like to do things twice.
Yeah, the chair and the lights.
Apparently.
Oh, it's proved by
Oh, goodness. Probably pick it up now. Oh, where did
Oh,
I
and
go?
there
Don't fall
goes
over.
the third toe, yeah.
Don't fall over.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
don't run back on the chair.
It would be great. We get a lot of traction on shorts, YouTube shorts.
I need to actually work out how to put shorts out.
Yeah, you have to do it
Properly.
in a vertical. It took me.
I know, it's fucking dog shit.
Yeah, like I had to figure it
Yeah,
out.
but they work.
They do, and I've
I
got.
know.
If you go follow me on Kiley Wilde over
Oh
YouTube.
my god.
I've done really well with the shorts.
There it ends.
Shameless self-promotion. Yes.
Not even just that, I can't put out the YouTube video until we end the stream.
Okay, fine. We will end this stream for Pete. I don't even know what time it is.
And for fucking CD.
Okay, it's really late. Okay, oh my gosh. Yes. We're gonna end this
Yeah,
now.
now you can see why my eyes have glazed over.
I know, but I was having so much fun.
You know, just to make it be aware, I have been up since 5:15 this morning.
I haven't.
Well, you're not gonna have trouble sleeping.
Oh.
You say that, but I might have hit beyond the point now.
I literally sleep 3 hours. 4 if it's a good night. That's not a joke, actually. That's all I sleep.
Nanny, you got carte blanche. Do whatever you like. If you can get if you can figure out how to do shorts, then I will upload them to YouTube.
You have to make them vertical.
I just couldn't work it out. I
That's what
couldn't
she
work
said.
it out.
That's what she said.
I know, because there was a similar thing about like simulcast streaming on fucking OBS the other day, and I was like, this fucking dog shit.
I need to go and actually this week, I need to get us signed up so we can stream on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. But
Well, this is dangerous because I was also looking at how we fucking stream on Rumble as well.
oh dear. Well, more exposure is always good.
Well, that was the
They're
point.
getting
It was
ready
to try.
to rumble.
It was just trying to get it into more places, you know.
That's what she said. Oh my gosh, Pete, what is wrong with me?
Not enough to drink, I guess.
I know, I need more.
It's wearing off already.
Okay, I guess we'll end this stream, this 3 hour and 15 minute, well, now 16 minute stream. But it's been a great time.
It has been,
we
yeah.
have enjoyed having CD with us tonight. It was very good.
It's been a fun time.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Sorry we've killed your sleep schedule.
You haven't. It's fine.
Oh, it's probably already fucked as is anyway.
And then we've enjoyed everyone who has stopped by and visited us tonight in chat.
Yes.
You guys are amazing. You always make everything so great and awesome. That's why we do this.
Except for Mike Tendo, who couldn't last out the full night.
Yes.
Such a slacker.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the stamina for us.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
just waiting for him to watch back on YouTube.
Yeah, watch the VOD. Yeah.
Kind of like how Rezo
No!
tries to subtly use something at the end of the show.
He actually does watch the VODs. Mike does, and he listens to the
I know
podcast.
he does.
Yeah.
Oh, did we? Just before we go, Kylie, did I tell you about this? What happened? Me and
What?
CD can go through this because this is funny as fuck.
What?
Rezo didn't think that we would that I would hear to the end of the show, and he left a very bad insult towards there.
Oh
I
no!
then posted in their Discord. I went, "I caught that, you fucker." Which is why next week I then ended the show by saying, "Fuck you, Rezo."
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was trying to catch to see
Private
if
little
he
war.
just to see if he would actually live up to it and come to the end of our show. He did not,
Wow.
because he didn't even know about it until I spoke to him about it the last time I was on with him.
Oh my goodness. Well, for all of the people who have stuck out this and also that watch the VOD, we appreciate you. And
Yes.
we will be back next week, correct, Pete? We don't have anything.
Yes, I need to talk to you about that quickly afterwards.
Oh, great!
No, it's not bad.
And-
Except the show's forever cancelled. No, I'm joking.
Oh gosh, don't do that.
No.
But also, you can join me on twitch.tv/KILEY_WILDE, where I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes on the other days. But come talk to me because I'm lonely.
Have you ever considered that a stealth stream should be a stealth game?
I did actually think of that, but I'm not good. Believe it or I know this is going to come as a shock. I'm not good at stealth. Can you believe it, Pete?
No, really? Those Hitman streams would never have given that away.
Yeah, I kind of like to punch people in the face or spray and pray. But I did think about it, and then I thought, well, then maybe people would like me watching, or like to watch me play a stealth game and not be stealthy. Yeah, in Dishonored, I never did the stealth version.
No,
There's no survivors, it still counts as stealth.
Of course I have a podcast to plug, but I will not keep plugging it like some people do. I do it once a show and that's all.
You mean like KILEY_WILDE?
No, that's not a podcast, that's a Twitch stream.
Oh, that's true. Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Now,
And all of them are in the show notes.
and
All of them are in
also,
the show notes. I meticulously scrubbed through the internet to get those for you on the show notes.
yes, thank you, Pete. And also X. Now, I do need to make it very clear.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, you gotta put that. I need to make it very clear that I don't actually post to these things. I use an aggregator that pushes them out. So if you DM me, I might not reply.
Ever.
If you DM her on Discord, she won't reply anyway.
I will try.
It makes organising a show so difficult.
I'm a difficult person.
You're an
He says
actor.
after episode 207.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's a brand new concept.
I am surprised it lasted this long with how
That's-
unbelievably disorganised this one is.
That's what she said.
But this is why it's the polar opposites. I am incredibly organised while she is incredibly disorganised.
It's true. I am the queen of chaos. I am the chaos queen.
It's yin and yang, isn't it?
That's exactly it. But I do encourage people to come join me over on my Twitch stream because I am trying to make affiliate and I'm so close.
Do you know what I encourage? I encourage people to check out and share the podcast.
Do that. Do that
Yes.
thing that Pete said.
And then vicariously they may come and join your Twitch streams.
Yes, do that. So check out the podcast first and then come join. Oh god, I hit my microphone.
This is why we get no growth. Such a professional.
Whatever. I'm the reason for growth. That's what she said. But
That one actually worked pretty well.
I know it did, right? Yes. I have to be up so early tomorrow. I have to go to the gym.
Oh, big
I'm
whoop.
gonna
I have to be up.
I'm-
Sorry, what time? What time do you have to be up to go to the gym?
Okay. Well, it's early for me, Pete.
Go on.
I have to be up by 9.
I have to be up at 6 to get ready for work.
Work, you plebs. But
Yeah, thanks. Some of us have got a mortgage to pay. Not all of us can be rich.
No, I have a mortgage to pay. I
Yeah.
just happen to be the CEO of my own company. But
By yourself.
I do on a daily basis.
Why then do you rehire yourself?
Because I need the help.
Because no one else wants to join.
Exactly. I'm the only one dumb enough to work for me. But thank you to everyone who has joined us for this 3-hour and 22-minute stream, which is insane. Also, come check me out. Check me out.
Are you trying to drag this out for another 3 fucking minutes just so you can get to 11 o'clock?
You know, I think about it, but then I'm like, no, I also have to pee. I have an entire bottle of wine in my bladder.
Oh, congratulations. The only reason why this stream is ending is because you need to pee.
It's true. But Our audience has been great. Our guest has been great. Pete's been alright. No, Pete's been great.
I've been average at best.
I am amazing. At least in my own mind. I'm a legend in my own mind. But yes, thank you for joining us in our crazy antics. And no joke, do come check me out on Twitch.
Yes, please do.
Please do. I'm so close, so close. But also check out CD on his podcast, check out Pete on his podcast, and check me out here on this podcast every Sunday between 7 and 7:30. We're never really definite. It may happen, it may not.
We run to a rough time.
That's what she said. So I'm gonna say thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.